away. UMP building up that money for himself. Bolts again, though, finds a second. Getting a little bit costly, but FaZe have a lot of rounds to play with.
Yeah, it's hard. You can see Aaron playing that going in first and just going a little bit crazy with it, just to find the information of where the stacked positions are. Nico now has a chance to get a kill. We already saw Ollie with 2 kills. The Opera build up some bonus money. Now we're having Nico do the same thing to UMPs. It's 14-4 into the first gun round, and Immortals started. And I think it's at the point where you can start to see this.
Yeah, you come into this, you look at the game, you think, okay, it's got to be an early start. You've got to see those individuals bringing a very strong game.
Disconnected.
Your heavy hitters doing just that. We have there's still room for smoke there, Nico. But it's
Someone tweet at Nico, tell him he missed that smoke so that he can fix it for the next one.
There we go. People, there it is. Something that isn't nice though is Mortals already losing out on steel. Going over towards Rain very early on there, so Rain already just stamping this as well. Actually not losing any ground either, and this could just play in for Alu. Depends on a bit of time, and then you can find it. We saw the off-hand before, actually, Immortals up on long, but Alu doesn't need that. He's perfectly fine right now. Now, 3 remaining for Immortals, just dwindling. Yeah.
It hurts.
Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to just walk out and that very slow pace from the flashes, when you get dinked like that, that's when your composure drops a little bit, but he holds strong in that gunfight. So 3-on-4 man disadvantage for Immortals, but they've lost a lot of HP and they don't really have a whole lot of control. They're still Nico and Stone. It's long, he's going to back away. But Nico, this should be pretty easy. Free kill for him, and he's going to look for more, and he's not going to see it. So now it's all down to FNX and Henny coming up along, and they're going to have to pop flash themselves through smoke, try and find something surprising. At least works out on Alu, but there's too many players here. Nico's here, over to its bathroom. Keo was already at the stairs. Alu didn't have to do anything.
No, this whole performance from Immortals side seems just a little bit flat. There hasn't been what we need to see at the moment, but
this is the risk though, and getting this map over to FaZe. So
yeah, you're right.
They're showing very, very impressive. And then that's the big thing. I mean, with how tactically, how much better FaZe has been than Immortals.
There hasn't been what we need to see at the moment, but
this is the risk though, and getting this map over to FaZe. So
yeah, you're right.
They're showing very, very impressive. And then that's the big thing. I mean, with how tactically, how much better FaZe has been than Immortals.
There hasn't been what we need to see at the moment, but
this is the risk though, and getting this map over to FaZe. So
yeah, you're right.
They're showing. And then that's the big thing. I mean, with
the rest fight, but not to be the case, as Rain now might also have some sort of struggles backing away here. Going to try and put the smoke out, but just about gets it done. FNX, going to read that coming in close? No, he's going to just have to respect this very makeshift wall of smoke that's been put up by FaZe. As Rain again still trying to escape on the run as Alu gets isolated on long, and now finally we're getting a couple of kills coming in. A little bit of aggression from FaZe, a little bit of a catch out from Nico, a bit of a shame, but there's still Rain, and he is still not giving up. He finally gets found in the end, but it's Keo and Karrigan looking for something. 2v4 though, never pleasant, but Karrigan's gonna go straight through. He finds one, opens up the site, he can't follow it. Now he knows where the bomb plot is and 1 player, but there's still 2 up in the air. Still 2 to find and 2 too many. Lucas gonna shut down Keo. And well, Immortals live to fight another round.
Yeah, they pick up the pace. They're very, very aggressive. And I mean, FaZe gets caught out trying to be aggressive themselves, where it's found with Nico and Alu both there, but it just gets caught off guard. I mean, what really started it off for Immortals, they had, I think it was a double or triple nade stack towards those staircase, and that's what brought Nico down so low. So he just couldn't do anything. And from there, the rest of his teammates, Alu and Rain, they're trying to be aggressive to support, and they're just stuck in awkward positions as they fall back. So they just get handed one, but still, it's got to be 10 straight for Immortals to force overtime, so plenty of opportunities for FaZe to finally close this one out.
Yeah, Bolt's catching a nade as well, coming through on short. You got Nico, pretty much. Who's B starting that? No, they're going to go for the boost on B, so that leaves basically Nico alone. He can go and help out on A if he wants to. He can rotate over quite quickly. Kyo's going to be the one keeping a bit of an eye on that, keeping a tab on that, whereas Alu and Rain still pretty much in control here. Rain. One thing with Rain is, for a superstar, he's not always the most flashy of players, but when it happens, it looks phenomenal. He's one of those that just seems such a consistent provider. Oh, I guess when your average is excellence, you know, you end up looking like that, right?
Yeah, he's definitely a very. I mean, in terms of his clutch ability and everything like that, that's kind of what he's known for, clutching and just the impact he can have in mid rounds. But he is a little bit one of the more quiet stars in the sense that he is one of those players where all of a sudden you hit tab and he's got like 25 kills and you don't exactly know where it came from.
Yeah.
So now Immortals trying to reconvene over towards this B bomb site, but plenty of utility left. It seemed like Immortals was starting to get in position to make this hit happen, and smokes just plume in these choke points. So they've got to wait a little bit longer. It's going to be Kerrigan close up. Keo's here as well. Those are the only two at this B bomb site, so they'll have to delay as long as possible. Now they're going to see things start to rain over. Now Kerrigan, there's the Molotov that comes out.
And Kerrigan's got to hold off Monster, flashes galore, and he's going to just stand there himself, but he gets taken out and Keo burns alive. How? I don't know how that one went down, but still it has, and it means the site's theirs. Bomb yet to be planted though. Rain's trying to make a quick bit of a play, but it doesn't happen. And still, 9 seconds, bomb's coming in. They want to maybe be a bit of a nuisance here, and they aren't. Rain is still pestering away for the push forward. FNX and Steel play forward towards CT. You've got Henny sitting back a little further. And now Alu going to get some elevation. Look above. Look, try and find something. Find a pixel out of place, but I don't think he's going to be gifted. Fail the molly, kill me.
Weaker toss of that Molotov than usual, but I mean, either way, a little bit unfortunate. Rain didn't have the ammo to actually peek into the bomb site, but then it's just smart from Immortals. They know since there's a player at Sandbags, instead of just waiting in the site and trying to kill him, the planner Steel, I believe it was, jumped over into the water pit just to be aggressive to get away from that danger. Speaking of danger, aggression from FaZe, and it's working. 2 quick kills. And Alu, he's going to get the next one as well. Oh, and they have the bomb also. This is a disaster from Immortals.
How is this how the games end recently? We saw the clip just a moment ago from NIP against Fnatic, and is this really how you're going to seal the deal here, FaZe? Bolts, go 1v3, please, for the sake of my heart here. This is not how you want to lose your first game. But Keo, Nico, and Kerrigan certainly have their ideas, and look at this, Bolt's having to fight for every step he's taking in this one. The bomb's still yet to be collected. He's got guns galore to go through, so no need to reload, just keep picking them up. But there you go, the flank's coming in. Kerrigan round the back, in between Keo and Kerrigan. It's not a pretty place to be, but he finds Kerrigan. And maybe a lifeline, but no, Keo, that's how you end it. 16-6, and it seems like FaZe just had enough.
Yeah, the uppercut with the pistol rush up towards Fountain. We've seen Kerrigan in the past do that. Back when he was with TSM, the Danes, that was the tactic they used. I believe it was to beat Fnatic on this map in one of the
nice little throwback.
Yeah. Historical knowledge.
That's what you're known for.
Either way, tactical outplay from FaZe.
Yeah, it didn't look all that pretty for Immortals, but what it is a good debut for Nico and for FaZe.
questioned what Immortals could do up against what is now a very new look FaZe. Nico in the roster, and it does look like they're off to a flying start as they do dispatch of the Brazilian side with not too much of a hiccup. Joining me is Sponge and YNK to talk through this one, and I mean, it was perhaps what we anticipated. We set the scene for not only Nico, but FaZe in general having the upper hand. The map choice was actually, we'll start where we kind of left off, which is the map choice confused you, Chad, and we struggled to see the evidence of Immortals in their overpass choice over Train.
I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt, or at least give a storyline as to why that pick made sense, but it didn't make any sense at all.
Right. I mean, when you go in, you choose the map, and then you concede an 11-4 first half on overpass.
I think
on
they
your
had,
CT side.
They look like they had CT aggressive moves, right? They had the boost in the connector and that kind of stuff, and they were pushing and going quite aggressive.
Why are you giggling?
His hair is so different now because of the headphones.
It gets flattened down a little bit. Yeah, it's not the best. But
I think you look great, Chad.
Thank you, Alex. The only time that they really had success on their CT side was when they were doing the aggressive moves, right?
Yeah.
They were pushing into connector, finding early picks and stuff like that. And that it's so risky because if you go aggressive and you get picked off, you're already down a man, and then you're on struggle street. The times that they were able to be successful, they were able to hold in the 4v5 situation and pull off those rounds, but it was just, there wasn't a lot of hope for them.
Yeah, and as always, 2 games into Katowice, and now the last round has just been a hideous display. We haven't ended on a climax once yet. Messy handling, but we will come to that later. I think, you know, Yanko, we have to hear your thoughts on FaZe and their 11-round T side. I mean, was there anything that was particularly standing out to you, or was it just Immortals not having the structure necessary?
Nothing too outstanding. Maybe you can just be slightly impressed by the fact that FaZe can look so crisp on the T side of a map like Overpass with only 3 days of practice. You know, they were really solid at not getting picked off most of the time, except for a couple of those rounds, and also having some like really decent, like solid executes to end the rounds. And you could see the star power of these players. You know, Nico had a good game. Rain had one round where he, you know, killed everyone, basically got 4 kills. I think it was even the first gun round, perhaps. So you really question the veto from Immortals. Obviously, it's a new team, so maybe this is just a map they're going to introduce into their map pool. So, you know, why not start straight away? But really didn't have all that much to show.
Not too much to show. And I mean, like, the question of leadership as well was raised in the green room. Now, we've seen Bolt take it and find success at one point in the leadership role. Have we got clarification about who's taking the helm?
It's Steel.
It is Steel.
When he came in, he went to in-game leader, but I think Bolt's was his most impressive when he was in-game leading, because it looked like he had full control, and then his decisions, that's what I liked about being an in-game leader, was I could make decisions based around what everybody else was doing. And once I knew what everyone else was doing, it was much easier for me to fit in and find the gap.
Right. And with that said, I mean, we're looking for those silver linings in Immortals. I think the argument is that we'd have had a lot more of a chance to find those silver linings had the map been trained, but we can't linger on that for too much. The fact that we only saw one half of Overpass, it kind of makes it a bit difficult.
It's not just the veto in itself. They also lose pistol, lose the gun round, win a round, get reset immediately, right? Couldn't get the flow going economically. Chad was talking about how they're a passionate team, they're passionate players, so they really feed off of having a good start in a game. Sometimes it's difficult for them to come back when they're really down, like 7-1 or 5-0 or something like that.
I think for teams like that, you know, starting on the T side is it's not an advantage, but it's probably the better call, because, you know, you get more gun rounds, you get more chance to do the force buys and that kind of stuff and get yourself fired up and get into the game. On the CT side, when you like lose the first gun round, you have to eco, you lose the next gun round, you have to like you either force in it with the money bonus or you eco again. It's just so demoralizing, right? You never feel like you can get the weaponry up and get the even jewels.
And what's interesting as well, I mean, you mentioned it beforehand, but it is worth rehashing, is that you were expecting to see Nico go solo B, and you didn't necessarily get what you bargained for. There wasn't that much of the...
It's true, they were grouping up more than I expected them to. Maybe it's how they're going to play Overpass. Maybe it's just how they want to play against Immortals, you know, not getting picked off by early aggression. But yeah, from what we've seen on this map, it wasn't what we saw from Nico in Mouse Sports on the T side. So maybe it's also a matter of there's no need for you to make a play on your own. Let's play as a team. We have great individuals across the board.
And restraint was shown. I think you can kind of attest to that, right, Chad? There was no real kind of overextension, even from Alu, who we often criticize for being a little bit of a greedy player, sometimes looking for that extra kill. We saw restraint, we saw control, and it's probably a good sign of things to come.
Yeah, well, everybody was making good decisions. You know, they're making picks and falling back, which is very important on a map like Overpass, where you have a lot of ground as a CT, or as Ts you can take a lot of ground. I think with relation to what I was talking about earlier on, where the honeymoon period, everybody wants to be on their best behavior, right? So everyone's, you know, you're not going to, and when you don't need to make those plays on your own, which nobody really had to, it's much easier. You know, you're just finding your kills, and the scoreboard I think reflects that. There wasn't anybody standing out, nobody ahead of the pack with 30 frags, something like that. Everyone was just doing their job and kind of chugging along.
And I just want to kind of quickly highlight that there is a B stream going on. Astralis is up and running 4-2. I think it just saw it in the ticker.
First NIP?
Yeah, I just want to highlight everyone that is going on right now. So if you're in this hiatus, you want to catch some more Counter-Strike, it is going down on that B stream. Get to see how NIP are doing there, just because we haven't seen too much from them in their first game.
Who would do that when we're talking about CS here?
Absolutely.
I'd rather watch a game than listen to us.
I have no idea. It baffles me. Why not both? Get yourself a second screen if you're a true CS fan. Heard it here first.
And go to the live events.
And you should. In fact, yes, indeed. We have got a sold-out stadium. That's pretty exciting for us. We've all experienced it before, but next time you can maybe join us and experience it for the first time as well. It's been a lot of Katowice events, and we're going to be seeing who does get themselves to those playoffs as we do continue our group stage. We should go ahead and take a quick one, though. When we do return, we're going to have an opportunity to dive into another game of Counter-Strike. This one does feature both the Fs, FaZe and Fnatic, both successfully winning their first. Now we get to see who gets a second under their belt. Join us after the break for more of the same. FaZe, Fnatic after the break.
Gambit probably is going to rush B at this point, finish this one off nice and early. And you know what? Naf's not going down without a fight.
Oh, Tarek's not either. He's jumping up. Shotgun comes through, Mag 7 shot into the face of Hobbit. His second one to Mo, but he has to go for the reload. The flash comes through. The flash saves him. That is awkward, but I love it.
Is rotated down, however, so he should be in position to back up Cajun B, who's spotting on the site itself. Cajun finds the first kill. That bomb is dropped in the open now, but the smoke is going to allow for Flipside to start and work their way out. Electronic dropping to Cajun, and Cajun is just dominating this B site right now. Somebody needs to shut this guy down, but he reigns supreme. Another kill for him. That's 3 now in the round.
Both Flipside members are exceptionally low. Markelov had 11, Blade has 1, and he's all left. The flip side, and Cajun B's gonna pick up the ace.
Stack up over toward B, 2 out toward, automatic!
What?
I was gonna say out toward Catwalk, and automatic finds it third! Waiting it, timing it, but better shot from Mixwell. Pistol is successful, but they don't account for the fact that it's Dren also behind this smoke, and he finds 3 immediately. Bombs drop down on top of the site. Give them a bit to work with, but they've got to rely on Naf to get in a better position. He gets caught off a Dren with an ace to hold out the site against the pistols.
Crossfire set, smoke off will change things slightly, but surely he's going to go through. Ricky, lovely shot to find Mazina. Now they can turn back these pistols and try and give Furlan the attention he deserves, but there's so many smokes out. He won't even get far enough, fast enough to catch them off before they're in the doors, and Ricky turns back again.
Time is still in favor of the CTs. The flash is coming. It's pretty much a final chance for Ricky. He's looking for the ace now. 4 kills found, and there it is.
Wow.
What a performance. 4 P250s and an AWP. He finds all 5.
Do you want to feel like a pro gamer? Wait no more. Greatness awaits you with Intel Extreme Masters certified PCs and notebooks. When you see unique IEM certified stickers on the outside, you will find high-grade components with Intel Core i5 and Core i7 processors inside. Every purchase includes in-game content and supports the total prize purse of Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Feel like a pro.
boy. You ready? Huh?
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Counter-Strike is sharing incredible moments with us and will return to a memorable place. Get your tickets now at proleague.com/Dallas.
FNX is going to be in a prime position to just go rushing in. Scream going to be looking the wrong way here, and Fallen drawing attention to himself. At goes, he mows them down. Quad kill for Fallen.
If he haven't made their way into the site, this could be dangerous. There it is. Oh no, he can't get the kill. He's got to fall back, but Get Right's ready. Kerrigan now with the scout, 2 big kills. He's only got 1 left inside of the site, and now he knows it.
Kerrigan left in the 1v1 up against Pit. Pit needs to get that bomb on. Oh my god, the timing. Kerrigan going back in. Spots it out, he gets it!
That's where those upsets come from, because early on they did play, the opponents were being that passive style, but now you can see Scream doesn't care anymore. Scream's doing the no respect. 4 quick headshots and the ace. That's beautifully done.
That's a perfect smoke, but a little late in terms of covering off on IP's entry. So Keo would have had all the information. They're walking in, they don't even see him, and he's able to tap down 4 players.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but Rain is also pushed up, and he's gonna grab 2 kills, so he's still a meta. He's pushed all the way up outside.
Alu just jump peeking it, gonna spot it out. Taco finds him. That's, I guess, a step in the right direction, but there's going to be a lot more steps here on what might be a mountain, but there's Elite.
He's actually going to come out towards...
Is he?
Oh, no, he's not. He's baiting it out.
This
so
is
smart.
sick.
He's got 4 kills. He has to go for the ace here. He's got to get all 5.
Did he spot him?
I don't know if he spotted him, but either way, he's making the right read. He knows he has the smoke down lower, so Taku's showing off all the skills right now in a one-on-one with Kerrigan.
This could be huge. This is what you need, but it's still Kerrigan. This man is certainly aware of what could be coming his way, so every single position he checks, every angle contains a threat. But would you predict Taco to take a fight here? Confidence aplenty, and we'll see if it pays off, and he gets it! That's a sick ace from Taco.
Game 3. Will the Swedes be phased by Fnatic? Let me try again. Never mind. Will the Swedes be phased by FaZe's new pickup? It's, of course, Nico who has been doing damage, and it has been a spectacular start for them. Both teams sitting 1-0 so far here in Katowice, but only one team will remain undefeated into this best of one. You heard the giggle, but a full introduction for Mr. Joona Leppänen. How was that?
Yeah, pretty good, actually.
Yeah?
Wow.
Event by event, you're getting there.
I reckon, you know, like, by the time I retire, I'll have it down. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, Joona Leppänen, Natu is joining us, as well as, of course, Chad Birchall joining.
You got mine right as well.
You know, I smashed that. And you know, Natu gets mine right every time. It's insane.
Yours is really hard.
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's always hard. So let's talk about this one. Two teams we've already seen succeed. Two teams have already got a map under their belt. Joona, you've been watching from the green room, and we should probably start with what we did just witness. We got to see FaZe picking up a convincing win versus Immortals. Yeah. What did you make of this one? Seeing Nico first offline with them.
I mean, I like the simplicity they're showcasing, and they're playing a lot with wolf packing, which means like they'll have 3 people together roaming around, taking one part of the map. They'll have 2 individual players playing on other parts of the map, may be long or be short on overpass, a map like that. You can adapt that kind of gameplay on most maps actually. What we still haven't seen, obviously, since it was really one-sided, is once it becomes tough for them. Do they have anything to go by after they need to find some kind of an execute that's going to break their opponents? So still a lot of unanswered questions in FaZe, obviously.
Right. Well, I feel like there's no argument that we'll get it in this game. This is a bit more of a test for both of the teams, given how Fnatic's run as well. We should start by going through the FaZe roster as well. We'll bring them up on your screen just to see what they've been bringing to the table with Nico's addition as well. But I mean, Chad, we've already seen the structure, elements of structure from Karrigan, and you know what? I think we're moving away from the discussion where we say FaZe is just 5 solid individuals and they're playing like them. Karrigan's changed that.
I definitely think so. You know, there's more innovation since he joined the team. He's able to bring his, I guess, leadership skills in multiple ways. You know, he can do the executes, he can do the wolf packing that Natu's talking about, and all that kind of fun stuff. He knows how to mix up the pace. You know, he's also an aggressive in-game leader, which means he likes to make the kind of Hail Mary plays where he goes in first and gets all the information, tells his team what to do. So they have a lot of dimensions now, and with this guy on the screen that we're talking about, there's a Reddit post at the moment saying he looks a lot happier.
Yeah.
So
doesn't he?
That's a positive thing. If you can be happy, you can play better Counter-Strike, I think.
And his gaming shirt fits, which is always great as well.
And it's got the right flag on it.
Yes, and you know, talking of flags, there is a Finnish flag on that very roster. We have a resident Finn here on the desk. Alu, I mean, you know him better than almost anyone who's going to have a microphone in their face anytime soon. It'd be interesting to know your insights on what you think he's bringing to this team, whether you think he has found the right slots he's been looking for so long.
I mean, definitely, I think this was a given once he had the opportunity to go into a lineup like this, and he fits right in there. I think his issue right now is that he's a little bit too inconsistent. Like, he'll have these strides where he's just dictating every single play he's doing every movement right, but then he'll have the opposite stride where nothing's working his way, and he kind of frustrates himself. But you know, I think in terms of him and the capabilities that he has, I think he's definitely a right fit, and he can be that game-changing player for FaZe.
Game-changing player. We'll see perhaps if he can do it in this best of one. Their opponents, however, also have a spectacular start, or at least their first half was a great T-side from Fnatic over on Cash. Things did kind of deteriorate somewhat into the defensive half of things, right?
I think they'd just be relieved that they got through that, right?
Yes.
You had such a dominant first half, then to go back to the full 30 rounds, it gets pretty stressful towards the end there, and you're just wondering why it did get finished off. But it's great that they now get into another game. They don't have to stew over the mistakes they made last night. They can kind of brush that off. Hey, we got the W. Let's go into the next game. So I don't think they'll be worrying too much about that second half.
Especially on a map like Cash, where you need to be really mobile on the city side, and they've swapped some position of players, so it'll take them a few games on that map to be able to feel really comfortable on it.
Definitely.
And I mean, when you look at this roster in fact that are here to defend their IEM title,
exactly,
I mean, you definitely cannot expect nothing but greatness given time now that they are back in the same 5 seats they found themselves in last year.
Yeah, we're very happy to see them like have diversity. Like, it's not just going to be those YOLO plays and just playing aggressive all the time. So on the T side, they have different ways to how to approach. They'll have the elaborate executes as well, but then again, they'll have that classic Fnatic play where they'll just pop flash through a smoke and all will go go through and he'll make a play and open up a gap for his team.
How much do you think Jumpy, their coach, is contributing to that additional structure? Do you think that he's a good element within that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. He's been around for a very long time. He was a part of a very successful 1.6 team at a brief period of time. And I mean, these guys must have realized by now that, you know, the glory days are over. They need to really grind and sit down and find new ways of how do we become successful once again. Because once those Guts and Fnatic swaps happened, even JW was saying how they were being naive, thinking they can just go on doing the same things and it'll work out. But now they've been hit hard, so they really need to realize that now it's time to work. And I think Jumpy is the good medicine for that.
It's really interesting how that fall from grace has kind of been the catalyst to a change in game style that we'll be exploring further as Fnatic do continue to advance in this tournament. But now we do need vetoes. We have to find, of course, which map this best of one will be going down on. Now, we're going to be casting our eyes over to the Australian on the desk to just walk us through how this one went. It does seem like this one is relatively unpredictable, I presume, between Fnatic and FaZe.
Just another middle ground map.
Okay.
We'll end up on here, you know.
So what strengths aren't we going to see?
I don't think we'll see a Cobble.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll
nuke.
No, definitely not a nuke. That's like Fnatic's go-to ban, right? We probably won't see the overpass again because FaZe look pretty dominant on it. You'd want to be leaning towards like a Mirage. I think both teams kind of like train. Acacia's is not too bad either.
So there's three that we could see in the mix.
Maybe Inferno. I want to see that bit of spicy meatball.
I like an Inferno today.
I'm hoping. I've been telling everybody to please call quad or short Diggity. So we're just going to change it for the good of Counter-Strike.
Well, I mean, if Matt can get a Jaden round, you can have Diggity. I think we can find that.
Lovely.
In our hearts.
I'm really happy with that.
So to clarify, right side of mid quad is Diggity from now on.
Yes.
Everything's Diggity.
Take note, kids. You call it Cache, and you call quad Diggity, and you're an Australian Counter-Strike player. Yeah, you'll be happy.
Yeah. But as we're going on here, so we've got 2 more bans left. FaZe, 2 more bans?
Yeah, so we're just seeing Cache, Overpass, Mirage, Cobble, and Nuke taken out so far.
Yep.
Okay, so
you're on track.
Yes, so it's Inferno and Train.
Yep.
Yep.
And they've given FaZe the choice.
Yeah, that's the thing. So FaZe won the coin toss. So they selected to start as the B team in the veto process again, which is really important.
Isn't it safe to assume they're always going to do that?
You would want to, unless you think you have a really strong map pool. You know, but it's because it's the best of ones, you kind of want to have the choice, I would say. That would be my take on it anyway.
For me, this makes sense that they pick Train instead of Inferno, just for the fact that even though they've not practiced together too much, at least they'll have a lot of confidence playing the map in itself, as in all the individuals have had some positive plays in the map in the history. So
I think plus if you gave Inferno to a team like Fnatic, who, you know, they're only just now rebuilding structure and more strategies and stuff, the free-flowing style favors them more so than it would FaZe, right? So FaZe, this is kind of a team with lots of stars who can all fight against each other and be very equal in that regard. But I think Fnatic, they're of Inferno, they didn't have a lot of
same.
Jeez.
It's not easy, is it? Like, but the first 2 were easy. You've passed with flying colors so far. Where are you putting your chips?
I'm going to go with Fnatic, surprisingly, I'd say. I think most people would probably be going with FaZe. They had a much more convincing game.
Okay.
But I like what I'm seeing from Fnatic. I used to be an old Fnatic fan. They were good friends. So I'm going to get back on that bandwagon.
Okay, expecting to see Fnatic have an extra chance to defend their title. Go 2-0. Only team to be undefeated in the group so far, potentially. Natu.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense with the big Fnatic in the sense where it used to be the map they went to a lot of the time, but then again, it wasn't because of elaborate strategies or the way they played. It was more like all of them are just running out of team main, and then him making the impact and everyone else just following up on that. But now what we saw in the first game, where they actually showed a lot of diversity in the way they played, they would have set executes, they would have the free roaming play, and they played off of each other really well. So I'm feeling quite comfortable with Fnatic as well.
Okay, 2 for Fnatic, expecting big things. Now, of course, we did talk a little bit about what Fnatic were doing over on Cache. A great start over on the T side, and then things not going oh so well. If you want to keep track of how everything is going down, both in that game or in the groups, of course, Group A is today, there's an app that I do tend to talk about. It's called the Score Esports app, and you can go ahead and grab it for not only that, but also your news and articles to stay up to date with the scene that you love and that we love here on the desk. With that said, though, it's time to kick off. It is Train time. Will it be a reign of terror on Train? We'll find out after the break.
teams picking up wins in their first games here at IEM Katowice 2017. Fnatic looked good on that first half, but things got dicey. It came down to, let's say, a bit of a unique round with Crims and Forest there. That's something that you kind of want to remember and also don't at moments. And FaZe looked flawless. There's no disputing that. Looked strong, but this is where the real challenge begins.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, this team, and Fnatic especially, like you said in the first half, just looked like that scary Fnatic that you don't want to see. But I mean, if you take that into account, if you look back at the history of Fnatic on this map, a lot of their success relied on Olofmeister's effectiveness out Team main. I mean, Natsu brought it up on the desk, which was great, because this is a team that on train was not known for any kind of like tactical prowess. Even compared to the other maps in which they were not a tactical team. So I mean, this map especially was reduced in that fashion, but individually they always found ways to win. So this is going to be a little bit dicey for them. If they get off to a slow start on the T side, I think it's definitely going to be a test. But we should say, JW, we talked about how he's looked good recently, resurgent form. This is a map when he was in Godsent, despite all their struggles. JW on this map for them was a monster.
Yeah, he still delivered. The one thing I love as well is that Dennis is on a Deagle first round. I love that from this guy. He can be so potent, and this is a hit towards B. They're not even messing around on this. They're already out. Bombs on the site. It's going down in the hands of JW. Olaf is going to be late to this. Going to try and find a way to play back into either support, whatever they need to fill the gap of. But they have 4 alive, or 5 alive even, excuse me. So they've kept every player standing from either side here. So interesting and a tough retake now for FaZe. Yeah, and there's no utility on FaZe, and also no one peeking from Fnatic. So I mean, they're going to wrap around. 2 players are going to be flanking in Z. Kerrigan's watching for it, but they can't spend a lot of time on this, and this round might just be over. Yeah, Flush is cleaning things up. Dennis hasn't even been tested. There's another kill for Flusha and FaZe. They go for a retake, and nothing comes of it. I mean, when you retake like that and you don't get any kills before the bomb plant, you kind of have to rely on those Glocks trying to push up or trying to peek, because there's not a whole lot of spots towards that inner site. But Fnatic only committed like 2 bodies to that bomb site, so they just sat and waited, and they didn't offer FaZe any gifts. That was beastly. And I love that play from Crims and Olaf. Crims actually going around to join him as well. He was over by B at the start, but came right on over, and the flank was perfect, just pinching them right in. But let's see the pace that they come in with now with Fnatic. They might just run through this one, and it looks like they are. At least Crims will do. He's heading straight out, down towards the Olaf spot, I guess people love to call it, and just waiting it out. He's got the Mac 10, so perfectly fine. Not too much of a bother there. And the CZ won't come in for Alu, and Crims will also find Rain. So this is really looking like a very nice start, and it's not even going to be towards A.
Yeah, dink onto Crims, though, so you'd imagine if someone from FaZe would try and clean this kill up. It's the Deagle on Kerrigan. He's distracted for a moment by Flusha. Nice work, and they're just going to stream out ladder room. So 3 members of FaZe here. 1 kill, 2 kills for Kerrigan. They've slowed this down. Could he get a third? Everyone is so low on the Fnatic side. Kerrigan has an AK, but not using it a third. And Kio's got a chance here with the 5-7.
He has more than a chance. 19 HP, 16 HP. Timing is everything, and it's not on his side. It was all set up for him. Kerrigan did so much work then, but just couldn't seal the deal. 2 stand, and that's more than enough. Fnatic get the second round. Costly, definitely, but still. Survived the threat that started to build, but those shots from Kerrigan. Yeah,
he gave him a real chance in that round. A little bit unfortunate they couldn't come anything from it. Crims had to survive and clutch that round out, even with the damage he took right at the start. So yeah, costly, but you could see the effect of that. JW, Dennis sticking on pistols. They know after the investment of FaZe that round, and actually JW, he only has a pistol. He's going to get caught off, but they don't invest anything. They're just going to scout out this outer bomb site, and if they die, it's no big deal. They're just trying to build up some money for the next round by not buying a whole lot in this one.
Actually doing all right as well. 2 kills. Yeah, sure, it was the players who only had pistols, but still good stuff from FaZe. Making them the best of a very bad situation. And they might have another shot at another kill. Olofmeister's very much alone. It would be surprising if they can get into this. Eco's just toying with the idea of it. Can't get the job done. Did a dink, but that's what you're going to get now. Rain and Alu looking for their opportunity to try and get a gun away, try and find something, try and make it a little more costly for Fnatic. Because any more people dying, that's a rifle. So it does get a little worse from this point. But Alu now, maybe trying to just isolate Olaf again. He's the one player who notably was dinked, but beyond that, this is good from Fnatic. They stabilized after what looked a little bit dangerous for a second, but it was fine in the end.
Yeah, and especially this round, they lost 2 players, but like you said, only the pistols, so they didn't really invest a whole lot into it, just, you know, the armor and maybe $300 for the pistol. So, I mean, this is Kerrigan in that previous round. Brilliant second shot onto JW, and then almost getting the... If he'd gotten the third there, that would have...
Something hit it.
Yeah, I think it might have been through the edge of E-Box or something, or maybe through the edge of the train, but either way, he can't get that kill off the bat, so he's got to get aggressive, but that's what causes some decent economic damage on a Fnatic. They sustain in the next round, though, and now we have the guns. Alu on the AWP, so is JW, and JW heading out towards Ali. See what he's going to get. Could be a duel early on for those 2, but Alu with the op is actually in connector.
Yeah, Alu just waiting out, see if Dennis comes walking in, but not to be happening just yet. Alu's going to back away, readjust, find something else, maybe support Keo for a sec. He can always come back around, but it's going to be the play down Ivy that's going to be building Kerrigan, and Rain will be the second in line. Nico can also adjust, but it's Olofmeister just to start things off. He's starting to have a real impact in these games so far, and I get worried when I see him starting to do this, starting to build up, starting to look confident, a little bit deadly. Rain has to respect this now. He's worried about where the extra flex comes from Fnatic. Where's that extra bit of pressure going to be building?
He's actually very lucky to get away with his life there. So he's actually going to get up on top of the train, but you're right. Olofmeister, if he's going to start testing his abilities here, we saw how good he was on Cash against NIP with some of those plays. Again, just walking up Ivy, getting that kill onto Kerrigan. And now, I mean, with that one player down towards Ivy, it makes this defense so hard because FaZe isn't cheating anyone outside. They have Alu and they have Keo towards the inner bomb site. They're split 2 and 2. That puts a lot of pressure on Rain and Nico to have the good read, and a lot of time for JW to just hold this angle and be able to pick someone off who's unsuspecting.
Yeah, the smokes do come in. This is looking a little more worrying. It would deny Alu if he was there. He's not. And now JW's got a nice little angle too. That means that Rain basically can't back away from this unless he wants to fight. And already the play's starting to begin. You've got Dennis out, you've got Olaf out, and now here we go. The pinch starts to really build up. JW doesn't need to land the shot. He's still got the angle. He allows Dennis through. This is so perfect, but Alu denies the bomb, getting towards the side comfortably. Can he find any more? The answer is a swift no from JW. 10 seconds remain, and only Keo, and he was over at B at the very start. So bombs down. This one looks in the bag here, and Keo finding any impact is near on impossible.
JW just so patient with his positioning, and you could see it just locked Rain in. I mean, there was really no options, and Rain knows he's blocked in. He knows if he peeks that, there's likely someone from Fnatic there, so he just feels very restricted in what he can do. And that decimates the defense. So really, really nice from Fnatic. Get that one pick, readjust where your attack is going to come from, and you really strangle that defense out. Part of it is FaZe without a whole lot of utility in this fourth round because of the second round investment. I mean, sometimes you can clear that position out with like some kind of mid-round aggression, a pop flash, even a smoke to block things off, but they just didn't have the options available to him there. So Keo's left just getting one exit kill, surviving the blast. Looking for the... Oh, he got the AK there. Yeah, I was going to say, that would have been a nightmare. Good trades from Fnatic coming out. And you can see the follow-up. I mean, if Rain's not going to move, Dennis is just saying, all right, I'm just going to hunt you down. I'll hold you here. There's only one place you can go with JW blocking that off.
That's really nice as well. This is the thing we want to... with me and Fnatic, I just want to see individuals starting to perform, but it seems like they've got a really nice structure to support it so far. FaZe, gonna have to just play to the tune that Fnatic are playing at the moment. There's nothing more to be said about that. They do have the upgraded pistols, bit of armor as well, and that rifle that Keo is managing to pick up at the end, eventually getting that AK. But Flush is still very early, very aggressively looking for opportunities, looking for ways to make things happen, but Rain... Not going to quite get it. Going to readjust down towards that kind of spindle, waiting for anything to happen. And no, big no on that one. And this should be clean again. Nico has found a rifle, as does Alu. So they've got some options here to make a play with. Now Kerrigan removes Dennis. This actually evens up a little bit of a chance. Alu's the main player just because he's got armor, and there he goes. JW leaves his head rolling. And now Nico and Kerrigan. How much more can you achieve in this round? I think that's a very swift response to that.
Really, really intelligent play from Fnatic, knowing it's an anti-eco round, so they spot Rain at upper with the deagle, and they just get down lower. And with the op on JW, they choose not to smoke, because why do that? You know, why block yourself off from potentially pistols getting up close? So you have him watching the connector, so as you stream out, that's Keo with the AK-47. FaZe puts him in the connector position so that he can rotate between the sites, so no matter where Fnatic goes, the AK can get involved in the action, but JW just stops that immediately. So really, really smart. If they smoke that off, then Keo has a chance to get out to swing a little bit wider and maybe find a kill or two as he comes into the site, but Fnatic just wisely makes sure that can't possibly happen.
Now this is nice. We've got the double op coming out as well. This is over on the FaZe side, so going for Alu and Kerrigan on that. Kerrigan squeezing down by Ivy. You know someone's around here. Can't... Did he? No, I thought it was going to be Flush, and it's Olofmeister, so didn't even catch a leg, but he sees the side he's on. He's going to have to respect this a little bit now. Keeps his attention towards this area. It's got to be aware of this being now some point of resistance, but this isn't it. It's all about B, and so far Alu is there with Keo. They went over there very early on. Alu has been very present on this side. You can see as to why Korean is this the option we're going for here? It's certainly looking dicey already. This is a big shutdown from FaZe. They have pretty much stopped this before it started. Anyone who got out towards that B site got completely denied instantly by Alu, and the support from Keo instantly was there. And there it is. Kerrigan as well, just going to have a little bit of a go on the nailing the, put the nail in the coffin, shall I put it? Now Crim's left with the impossible task.
Yeah, we talked about this on Crim's is also, or on Cash as well. Crim's is not an opera. So, I mean, this is a long time to have to save this gun. but you can't imagine he's going to be going for anything. Maybe just try and fall back, get a pick or two, and yeah, the timing is there with the Deagle, but Nico gets the kill, and that's huge for FaZe. To have the first round that you win, to start a streak, you have all 5 players survive, so now you can have full nades into this. Harder for Fnatic to reset them, and even if they can, I think they'd be able to force up some kind of, they'd be able to muster up some kind of buy, but the big thing is, what does Fnatic choose to do now? Because they spot the double op setup. They know Kerrigan has one out towards Ivy that past round, and they know that Alu has one towards Inner. So what kind of a tactic? If they can get into a bomb site and get the plant down, those ops are going to be very, very difficult to retake, and it's looking like it's going to be very, very fast towards the B bomb site. Actually, they come down ladder, and Rain's going to get all 3. Holds down the trigger. He's not blind whatsoever. That's too easy for Rain. The nade finally cleans him out, bounces right into his face. Damage could be done, but I mean, FaZe cannot give this up. It's a 2-on-3. They cannot let that triple go to waste.
And Flush has got the bomb, so it's going to be hard for him to back away, but he's going to give it a good try. Just about makes it out before the molly really kicked in and took him down any lower. 26 HP, a fraction of safety to be found. But now, Crims, how do you make something happen here? How do you make the play begin? He's as cautious as Flusher is, but you can see FaZe having to respect this, starting to wonder, okay, they're going to go B, where can we play this out? Flusher's just kind of sneaking his way up. He's got down towards, almost towards Carrigan's position, but there's no one watching Carrigan's push either. So this is a bit of a reverse. We saw JW holding angles like this not too long ago, keeping Rain pinned to the site. Now we're going to have to see if Carrigan can do just the same, but for the CT side, if he can keep it safe on the cross.
Both ops outside now as well. So, I mean, if Fnatic can get in and neutralize these AWPs, they have a chance at a bomb plant, because those ops can't be too aggressive. They want to use the range. And this is a long time for Flusha to be on the map, but Kerrigan finds Krim. Flusha hasn't made a move yet, was trying to get Krims into his position. There's one. 1-on-2 with the bomb, and he can get it planted at this inner site, or this outer site, excuse me.
Yeah, Alu's on the long way around, though. He's going to be coming around from Ivy. He might be able to get an angle if he steps out on it. He might let them get the plant. Just going to wait for Keo to be in a good position with him. And here we go. Timing going to be a massive factor in the air. It is. Alu's just going to take the fight straight away. As soon as the bomb put down, just takes that second and he gets the job done. And you got to say it, Rain gave them hell at the start of that round. That was just a swing factor.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Fnatic against this double op setup. They wanted to pick up the pace. They wanted to have a very quick outside hit, but Rain gets into that ladder room far before they even have to, they're even coming down. I mean, that is great timing and caught off guard. That's why you're not seeing any kind of a nade or a flashbang or anything from Fnatic towards ladder room, because they think they're going to be able to beat that push there. It just doesn't work out in their favor. So last buy for Fnatic, it's 5-2. They've got 4 AKs, a Deagle on JW. They've got a good amount of utility. They've got some very good nades for some kind of an execute if they choose to do that.
See what they go for this round. JW having to just be on the Deagle. Not many options to be falling back to, but at this point, Carrigan and Nico are getting up close and personal. Carrigan very close by, Nico playing off the site, so looking for action so early on. It's a risky piece, especially with the AWP in hand, leaving Rain just to lock down Ivy now instead. But Fnatic aren't testing anything quickly this time. They're taking their time on this build-up. The bomb's yet to be moved either, kind of just sitting, kind of in neutral ground, I guess, if you want to look at it from Fnatic's perspective. But for now, it's a test of patience here.
Rain even pre-firing the boost that Fnatic was trying to set up, so Olaf immediately gets down after getting tagged to 71. They're going to leave him alone, perhaps wanting to take that one-on-one duel, usually taking advantage of that, but Rain this time, that is surgical. So the double op setup has come out. Rain's going to get the first kill with an M4, but this double op has been the answers to FaZe's problems early on. A nice shot from Kerrigan. That was swift.
Very nice. Now Dennis looking to join in, find a reply, but you're smoked off, you're cornered in, you need to back away from this, but they don't actually have any control towards B either. This is a problem. They don't have anything in this map, really. And now with 3 remaining, 2 smokes on, one on Flusher, one on Crims, how are you going to piece this together? What do you have in store for us? Dennis maybe looking for a play towards B, but you know, they're stubborn FaZe. They don't want to rotate Alu unless they need to. Now Dennis is going to find this out, I can imagine, with a bit of a wide peek. Looks for the fight towards Keo, but the backup is there. It's Alu watching, waiting, and not giving that one up at all. Quick play now out towards the outer site. This is what they want to do. Maybe cause a distraction, cause a rotate, cause a fuss. And there you go. Flusher finding Nico is a good start, but starts on everything you need the end of this round for Fnatic, and they're not going to get it. Rain holds firm, and again, FaZe just not being moved.
Yeah, I mean, that's Fnatic trying to get their way back into that round with some individual duels. You see Dennis taking that one towards Inner. Olaf was trying to take a one-on-one towards Ivy against Rain. They lose both of those. Those are the 2 fights that Fnatic really tries to open and find something with. Kerrigan with the advanced positioning catches JW off guard, but you know that's the scary part. If Fnatic in this TF, if they start getting bogged down, those are the fights that they're going to take if they don't win them. This is where Train becomes a map where they just never seem to be able to have something to fall back on.
Deagles, P250s galore. But up against Ali with the AWP, not looking so likely, especially as he's getting aggressive. He's even just taking more of the map for himself. As Karrigan waits, see if there's any test. There is, it's Olofmeister. That dink, yeah, back away from that one. Don't give it up. And there you go. Rain supports well, but there's still Dennis and there's still a Deagle. And that means there's always going to be danger. But Nico waiting. JW as well, I think, may have been noted, may have been heard, but the bomb's not to hand. And Crims is going to try and make a piece happen over towards B. Again on the AWP. Not ideal, but JW, that's a play you want to talk about. And of course, this is the round they start to really add the pressure. Of course.
So Fnatic.
P250s and Deagles equate to round wins after you've been struggling against a phase that won't be moved. But
yeah,
what happens now?
Karrigan's op is salvaged by Crims. He gets a leg shot onto Keo as they fall away. The Deagles outside do work, and JW advances his position and finds an op of his own. The question is, where do they go? And Keo, he's got a lot of time to really second guess and get caught out in the open, and there he is. They've spotted him now as well. That's not good news. He's at range. They don't have armor as the benefit for Keo. He's gonna have to find some very, very selective fights, but they know he's been legged, so they pull out the pistols. 6-3, what a round for Fnatic. They have nothing.
Can we just appreciate the rounds Fnatic have been winning so far? Do you remember when Fnatic used to do those sort of things, right? With this roster, we're like, oh, they're always going to come back. They pull out ridiculous timeout. They build up, they win in the filthiest of ways. And this is the round they win, and just remember what they did to NIP. These sort of rounds are just, this is starting to feel like Fnatic to me. I can't explain it. It's unquantifiable half the time, but these guys are looking a little bit better now. They of course turned it around. Olaf going to back away from that though, not going to outstay his welcome as Nico gets up close and personal. However, back on the buy at least. This means some sort of stabilizing factors come through. The double AWP still out to play for FaZe, and that is going to be tested, and actually not going to come out too well from that. This could quicken the pace, but no. Fnatic wait and bide their time.
That setup was perfect for, even with the missed shot from Alu, that was perfect for Keo to be able to peek out and get 1 or 2 kills. No one from Fnatic was looking there. They weren't expecting that whatsoever. So Fnatic gets away with one by a missed opportunity from Keo. The defense is going to hold strong. The good news is they have Nico close up. So if Fnatic try and fall back down this ladder, it could just be a replay of getting slaughtered coming down into ladder room, but they're going to bypass that altogether. Fnatic has pushed back the early aggression in Inner, and now they've got to readjust. They still do have Olaf with the AWP, again choosing to go for a duel out towards Ivy, this time against Karrigan with the AWP.
Gonna wait on the timing of that, and Karrigan gonna be pushed off the angle, but it's what's happening in the meantime as well. The rest of Fnatic are starting to just consider their options. You've got the lineup starting to begin. You've got Crims putting out a couple of pieces, Smoke's coming in, probably a flash to follow if he has it to hand, but it doesn't matter. Nico up close, Smoke in towards Pop, and now here we go. Nico wants the action, and he might just get it. There's 3, looking for his 4th, turns it, expecting a flash in, but nothing. And now 2v3, you're left with Olofmeister and Crims, and not much HP in that nade seals what might be the deal here. Olofmeister looking for any chance, any pixel he can find, but they're not playing any sort of games now. It's shutdown time.
Yeah, that Molotov, Nico's definitely expecting a flashbang, but the Molotov works out just as well, essentially. So Fnatic gets shut down. They don't find any of those early kills that they wanted. And even though they push back pressure, they don't really have anything to do after that. Nico with the 1 kill in ladder room close up. I imagine FaZe is going to keep going to that, playing someone aggressive in ladder room, because that's destroyed Fnatic a couple times now. And then the UMP comes into play, aggressive towards T-mid. I mean, this is just, if FaZe are going to be aggressive like that, Fnatic's got to find some way to neutralize it, but it seems they're trying to open this up with some duels, and they're just not panning out. If FaZe can survive the early game, it almost seems like that's the key result to a CT-sided win.
And first test begins, and they pass with flying colors. JW not able to get that opening pick that he was so desiring, but this is the first time as well we're going to see a dedicated 4 towards A. Normally Keo's had that instant support from Alu, not the case this time. Alu is actually on the A-bomb site, and this is the time that Olofmeister gets the first pick. Actually hasn't had it that often down by early. Karrigan's backed away a couple of times, but eventually it seems like Olofmeister wants to break through. He wants control to begin, but Fnatic aren't building off the back of this. This is just a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, look what they have outside of these AWPs. They have 1 AK on Crims, the pistols as well, which we know they can be dangerous, but I mean, that's Karrigan got baited that round into a little bit of a mistake, re-peeking that angle after you take your shot. Risks a lot, and maybe he should have known that they saved an AWP, so he falls, now puts him into an awkward situation. Nico's got the other up now. I know Yanko talked on the desk about how he can be an effective secondary AWPer at times. How much more damage can Olaf do? This is that confidence you talked about, and he actually gets the damage onto Rain. Doesn't find the kill, but he's going to hunt it down. He's going for more. Timing's not there. Nico coming through. That's an AWP shot, and Olaf almost gets that one. This duel. Olaf comes out on top of it. The no-scope battle.
But it's all about B. They've been biding their time for every second that's pass, and they almost clear it out. Keo's position is compromised, but he comes out swinging. That's 2. The 3rd is on the cards. If he could just kill Dennis, but no. Dennis stays alive, and now Rain, with 19 HP, is looking at what could be an impossible task. JW's behind, Dennis in front. And JW's waiting for anything to show face, but Rain snuck his way up. This is a nice little bit of play. Maybe he can make something happen here. Dennis might not expect it, or maybe he will. No, certainly not. The execution comes out, and he is not going to move. Rain is holding this down, and I think the molly, the flash, it doesn't matter what comes in. Rain just sticks to his guns, and it works out after what was a very back-and-forth round.
Yeah, that's unreal. So close. What a play. Nice clutch. But this is, yeah, I mean, Fnatic, they bait this one out. And look at the second kill he gets. These are the pistols inside as well. So that one onto Flusher right through the edge of the board there is critical. But a massive, massive clutch for Rain.
This just feels like it's going blow for blow, this game. Back and forth.
Yeah.
So many of these rounds just kind of being incredibly close as well. It feels like they're just so on par at this point.
Even with the loss, though, I mean, Fnatic gets 4 kills, so they have the money low on the FaZe side. If they can just pull off one win here, although, I mean, again, it's just pistols and this one-off from JW. Krims, can he find that? This is a weird battle through the smoke, and Keo is just backing off as fast as possible. Meanwhile, there's the Deagle. Olaf, oh, a second one! As he falls back, as he's low, Alu's up next. He wants to hunt it down, but these Deagles, again, for Fnatic, are causing problems.
Plays like that are going to leave a scar if you're FaZe. You don't want to go walking into that again. No one wants to face that sort of power, but it's brought this, I guess, this round back to maybe something they can play with, but look at what they have in their arsenal. It's just so limited, but we've already seen what the Deagle can do, but it shouldn't be allowed to do anymore. Surely not. Yeah, give us a look. Why not? Flusher as well on the Tech 9, and then Krims is the one with the M4. One smoke towards Krims, the other on Flusher. They can make something happen towards B here. And Keo is the man on this site. You can imagine maybe Olaf going to try and play around time, work back in if they can get a bomb down, but no. They set up the smokes, and they head back around towards A.
They're just trying to pull someone away from this A bomb site. It didn't work, though, so they don't have knowledge that Nico's here. When does Olaf Meister pounce? Is Nico going to peek out towards ladder room? He is. He can't. Oh, there it is. He lands the second one. Corinne's coming out a little bit late. He had the rifle as well. Flusher has one now, but a missed shot from Nico. Olaf can't capitalize, and he's still just holding his ground, waiting for his teammates to get here. Now it's all 3 members of FaZe outside. Does Olaf have any more magic? And he does. One more, but Nico. That's why they picked him up. An ace in this round for Nico. He gets all 5 kills, saving FaZe.
I just want to watch this. All right. Second, how is this? Oh, God. You know what I mean? It's like, when we're watching these two teams play, how sick is it that you see Olaf doing that and then Nico respond just in kind?
Well, this is the power of Olaf Meister, and this is one thing that's always made them good, is that, you know, Olaf every single round, without fail, has been in this alley, Ivy, just working it by himself, solo, and he's being so effective, consistently finding kills down there, so you have to devote a lot of attention to that position of the map if you're FaZe, but it's usually just one player.
Yeah, and it's different from FaZe as well. Rain could be the one pushing up over by B. He does only have the UMP, so maybe gifting a bit of a chance if they actually went for the hit, but we know that Rain's been able to do some work with this, so not too much of a deficit, but Keo as well being kind of loosened up, I guess, from that B roll as well, being maybe told, all right, keep in mind that maybe out is going to be a thing here. Rain pushed up, didn't see anything. There is still 3 players sitting around the top of Pop, so don't write it off just yet. But 1 minute left, so much utility left in play for Fnatic. They can construct any piece they want right now. Good flashes, keeping Alu and Keo kind of humble at this point. No one's pushed up either.
Here comes the execute. Alu not blocked off, not blind. Keo as well. So the teeth of this attack have been taken out. Now they just need to survive the secondary hit. Nade out, and actually, I mean, JW's not ready for that. Nico with the other angle, and Olaf finally loses a duel there. And finally, FaZe, they sustained with 5 alive. Their economy has been on an edge for these past 2 or 3 rounds, and they can finally build some up. Despite not winning, Fnatic's been getting 3-4 kills in the previous 3 rounds, so FaZe has been on constant reset notice. So this time, they shut him down completely, and now they can be a little bit more comfortable into this next round.
I was going to say a sigh of relief, but it's never a sigh of relief when you know what you're coming up against with Fnatic on these rounds. We saw the kind of swing earlier that happened, but FaZe should shut it down. They actually have the utility. They finally have that full money to make a piece with. Actually, Rain and Karrigan going to go aggressive on this, but no Olaf Meister. You're left wondering, is he waiting? Is he close by? The answer is a definite yes. Rain gets called out by this. That's a gun recovered. That's okay. It's only a UMP, so it's not the worst thing in the world, but still, anything falling into the hands of Fnatic is dangerous. Alu trying to find what he can, but Krims is there towards Keo, and now it's Alu trying to deny this piece T-side all by himself. He's got Nico finally coming over as well, but the bomb's going to go down surely right about now. The molly didn't deny it. Dennis stays alive. And now 3v3. This is still up in the air, but surely FaZe should be able to close it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Alu sneaking up along the wall, taking advantage. This should be pretty easy. Yeah, I think Smoke even went down. Olaf, he's going to get the one kill. The UMP, can he find one more? He doesn't even swing out. He doesn't peek it whatsoever. So a stick defused by Nico in the smoke to extinguish the Molotov. But still, I mean, Fnatic finding ways to make every round dangerous. These pistols are doing work. So 6 to 8. I mean, the benefit of this is Fnatic gets those first 5 rounds, and you add in that one pistol, the force buy round that they win against FaZe. I mean, you know, you can just see this is why Fnatic, if they get that early lead on the T side of Train, they had that opportunity to reset the economy of FaZe. If they had done that, this is a great half. Already, though, Fnatic at 6 rounds, this is a good T half for them on Train.
Yep, very good. There's absolutely nothing to be taken away from this. We've got to see if FaZe can replicate something of a similar performance. But Karrigan, going to start off with JW. That's a good scalp to claim if you want to deny any early beginnings. And this time, not being Olaf Meister, you must be wondering, where's my normal sparring buddy at this point? Krim.
No, he's probably thankful that's not Olaf Meister. He's...
Uh-oh.
Well, here he is. Oh, all right, Karrigan showing off a bit. Good 2 wins from him. That is interesting by Fnatic, though, that Olaf has done that every single round, and on the last one, you switch it up. Olaf has a great knowledge on how Ali has been played by FaZe this whole time, especially considering they both had AWPs, so why not just send Olaf consistently, who knows how that's being defended. But either way, 2 good kills from Karrigan to really give FaZe a great advantage in this round.
Yeah, the body's certainly piling up down by the bottom of Ivy, but the last 3 remaining members of Fnatic going to look for any given chance, but I doubt there'll be many. You're going to have to force these errors out of FaZe. They're going to try and lock this one down, get that really solid half under their belt, try and stabilize a bit, keep it away, and there you go. Keo finding Flusher is a lovely beginning for them. That denies any sort of pressure towards B. They can kind of calm that one down. The last 2 haven't really shown too much. A little bit of a playthrough pop coming out now from Krim's, going to molly out towards the site. Dennis now going to step out as well. This is where they get these chances. Dennis, what is that? Nico goes down, but the molly to deny Krims is perfect. It just kind of isolates one, leaves the other playing back into this, but the whack-a-mole game didn't go so well in the end for Fnatic as they did swing out, but FaZe close out with a good half here. This seems pretty solid, but again, Fnatic aren't going to be upset with the amount of rounds they got on the T side.
No, they got what they wanted. It was really that double off setup. FaZe, once they were able to get the kills early on in the rounds, they had plenty of success moving forward. So this has always been a map where Fnatic has relied on the CT side more so than the T side, so we'll see how they do when we return.
These two Titans are going blow for blow during this game, but I think we are actually live into the second half right about now, so let's not miss a second of the action. Fnatic now on the CT side need to pull themselves back into this one. FaZe on the T want to take it further, but already Olofmeister claims 2 of the opponents, and we are seeing a bit of a battle go down.
That's awkward. Dennis coming right through the smoke. This is going to be interesting. 3-on-2 scenario. That late flanker, though. Nico coming late. This might screw everything up. I don't think Dennis is going to expect this whatsoever. Precision. Nice shot from Nico. And still being alive is great for FaZe. Now they've got to find the other two. The bomb is down over by Ebox, though, and Fnatic has positioned themselves very, very nicely to cover this.
Yeah, Flusher up in heaven and JW over by Pop. This is going to be really tough to reclaim that bomb unless they hit a bit of a blinder, but Flusher's got to be aware of this. Nico's taking a lot of the attention here. Flusher's got a really nice little angle. He's watching to see if the cross comes in. Doesn't actually spot out, but he's going to hear it. That's enough. Now he can play off JW or vice versa. It depends on how well they work together on this, but Nico finds Flusher. That's a real waste of a position, but JW spots his prey, lurks his way in, and is waiting for that plant, unaware, unassuming. Alu could have been called out so badly then, but somehow stays alive. JW goes back, but Nico says no. And that's 3 big kills from a situation that looked near on impossible.
Nico wins this round, obviously. His late flank is perfect, but I mean, even checking heaven, that position from Flusha, he's so far against the wall, it's hard to clear, but Nico spots it at the last second. JW even plays that 1-on-2 so nicely. He's got Nico at range, but he doesn't want to risk giving up his position, so he waits for the better fight. I mean, unfortunately, he misses the shots, but I mean, he played it so well. He was in position to bring that into a 1-on-1, but there's the impact of Nico coming out in the pistol round for FaZe.
What a lovely addition. Really, really nicely done for him. And Dennis and JW are going to have to deal with possibly 3 players coming their way. We'll see how well they do off the back of this. And Nico going to make very light work of 1, but JW got gifted a chance, and he at least gets Nico down. I guess that's something if you want to remove a threat from the board.
He probably gets a double kill if Kerrigan isn't jumping past that choke point. So now it's up to Crims. He's got the 5-7, the dink, but not the kill. Either way, Rain's brought down to 1 HP, and you still have Flusha alive in a 2-on-3 scenario. FaZe has to make sure they can use the range. These smokes are going to be very, very nice, and Olaf's still not able to get into the action with this scout. These 2 weapons combined could be a very big benefit, especially Flusha's now picked up a UMP.
That was... Timing was a factor there because they hadn't actually crossed with the bomb. Olaf gets a tag, and now look at it. Kio's a little low, 70 HP. He's fine, though. He can sustain. Alu and Rain are in a bit of a predicament if he picks up a nade. If he picks up anything, he can do some serious work with this, but no kit as well, and pretty locked out at this point.
Yeah, there's no reason FaZe should be showing whatsoever, and they're not. So, I mean, it's a perfectly played post-plant, and they've now got a great lead on Fnatic. It's going to be 11-6 after this. Even with the low HP, Olaf just can't find any kills. So this is going to be tough for Fnatic to get into things, especially considering that 4th round again. It's going to be one of those limited buys with small amounts of utility, a big investment that round for Fnatic that doesn't pay off with a win. And I mean, we mentioned this, the desk mentioned it, I mentioned it before this game started. This map generally for Fnatic is all Olofmeister, and even with him being so successful on that T side, no one else is really here. He's got 18 kills. He's double up on 3 of his teammates, JW, Dennis, and Crims, and Flusha is just a little bit lower. So I mean, that T side largely spurred by Olofmeister.
If Olofmeister keeps his performance up, I want to see how far Fnatic can go. I want him to be.
Is he back?
Well, press tab. Let's have a little peek. He's certainly doing all right.
Yeah,
he's doing just fine.
Can't complain with that, can you?
No. It hasn't translated much to the CT half yet. He's obviously making impact, but it hasn't got them rounds, is what I'm trying to say. But the point is, it's good to see him looking confident. It felt like he'd taken a little bit of a shadow of his former self in previous tournaments, build him up nice and early through the groups. Get a win here, even better. But sadly, a leaping Rain is not what you want to see coming in towards your face. But JW and Den, how is this possible? They have nothing. They literally have nothing. Just USPSs, that's it. They had the scout, that got a tag, but what is this?
JW making plays pushed up. I mean, now there's just nothing. I mean, again, those are weapons that FaZe can afford to lose, right? I mean, they have the aggressors going up to scout out the bomb site. They get taken out, but the AKs at the end. At that point, Fnatic, they've got to kind of peek with those USPs to try and find some information to see if they need to rotate, to see if they can, grab any kills anywhere. And that's when the AKs just lying in wait are able to pick them off at range. So here's JW with the AWP. No utility, no armor. Complete glass cannon.
I love the glass cannon.
Yeah. I do too.
We'll see what he can do with it. This could be quite quick as well. Fast flash is being put down towards outside. A couple of smokes as well, bit of a line of smoke actually. So they're going to deny Kerrigan and Nico any sort of presence. Push up Dennis now from Fnatic. But Olofmeister is getting a little bit close. He's kind of curious. Is someone actually pushed out here? Is there any threat on the board, or are we okay?
This would be so risky if Dennis goes for that peek, yeah, because there's 3 players of FaZe here, and they're all lined up to watch for some kind of a push. So looking to see if Fnatic is going to have any of that trademark CT side craziness. JW with the AWP, though, aware that someone could have crossed over. Kerrigan, I think he's just going to wait here. I think he's just going to chill for now, wait for his team to set up, and he'll be a lurker, but, I mean, JW doesn't like that idea at all. He's going to go for it. We know JW likes to do this. Nade's going to come out. He has the indication, and Kerrigan's got to be frustrated with that one.
You're sitting there so frustrated with that. You shouldn't be doing that if you're JW, but it's JW. He just does the things he wants. And now watching the cross out as well. Good flashes, though, from FaZe, keeping these guys blinded, but not for long. JW and Dennis find their positions, find the cross, and find the kills.
JW is one of the few operators who would do that in that scenario. That's why it's so frustrating if you're Kerrigan, but also beautiful flashbangs outside for FaZe. You could see how blinded Dennis and JW was on top of the train, but the timing of when they try and take advantage of those flashbangs is just a second too late, because the flashbang is fading away. Quick kills. Fnatic survive with 4 alive. Actually, do they think this is already going to be a save or something out of FaZe? Because Crims has a 5-7, maybe to try and build up some money, but this is a buy.
Could just be doing Fnatic things, Jason. They do weird things. I don't know if this really should be one of them. To be fair, he only has 900, but he could have been dropped out something. But JW feels confident, and, well, oh my god, it's still working. Anyway, why not? Crims almost 180s and finds a follow-up, but it's not to be. But Olofmeister is there. He is where the train stops, and Flusher just forcing Kerrigan to the floor, and this is looking very dominant.
Yeah, especially considering Crims wins that without they win that round with Crims not even having a weapon, so he gets to build up money. Now he's going to the shotgun, knowing it's going to be an eco this time, so now he's going to be able to build up an even more of a bank if he has success with that shotgun. But good start for Fnatic in these gun rounds.
Yeah, that looked crisp so far, but, we're going to have to wait for FaZe's rebuttal at this point. It's going to be one of those rounds you're going to have to forego this. You're going to have to look for those small wins, small benefits, getting a bomb plant, getting a couple of guns away. Whatever you can do, brilliant. You don't expect round wins out of these sort of things. No flashes, no smokes, no armor, just a couple of additional pistols, and that's about it. And Crims using that Mag 7 up by Pop, so not too surprising there. Just going to be trying to wait, see if anyone gives him some sort of attention, and hell, even if they pick that up, what are they going to do with it? It's kind of tough to work in on the T side. So, again, Fnatic just need to wait for this. Crims can be let off the leash. Well, Flush has gifted a very nice chance there.
Yeah, he's happy with that. Yeah. Rain trying to just go for something desperate, hope he catches someone not looking his way. And there's the shotgun right to the face of Kerrigan. So bonus money, those Glocks, those aren't going to win too many duels against Flusher with the AK at that range. Actually, is that a dink on a Dennis? Yeah, down to 10 HP. So this is going to be a 9th round for Fnatic. Nico's the last one left, a little bit slower pace, but they've got to figure out how they want to have success in this outer bomb set if that's where they go. And up the ladder, Crims is here. 2 kills for him with a shotgun.
I wonder if he sticks on this, or how long.
Oh, absolutely will, yeah.
Like I love the fact that Fnatic do this occasion. We saw it on Cobble as well. Like Flusher always used to be one of those UMP players. Yeah. Bit of a pioneer towards the UMP favor, but he's certainly good with it. And why not? You can find so many good positions on the CT side with this. Throughout the map, there are spots you can play it, but Pop is just phenomenal for it.
I mean, the big thing as well, if he's going to get aggressive towards mid, if he's going to be playing in ladder room, I mean, that's where it can have a really dynamic defense outside. If he's going to shut down ladder room, the rest of Fnatic can concentrate on team main, but FaZe is going to bypass all this. 4 members quickly towards the inner site. Pistols again, armor though, and Olaf, that's a sketchy position. If he falls there, they have access into the bomb site. There goes Flusher, but Olaf's still alive. Now he drops down. He's going to get a 3rd kill. He's just being a nightmare, and FaZe can't get into the site. He's even aware. Coming up top, there's Kerrigan. Finally shuts him down. They can salvage some weapons. The bomb will get planted. It's a 2-on-3, and Crims is a shotgun, so actually Dennis is going to fall down. Kerrigan being very proactive at the center site, and it's Alu in a 1-on-2 with an AK-47.
That's really nice. He bought so much time for not only Alu to get the bomb down, but to readjust as well. Nicely done by Kerrigan. But now the real test big...
Nope.
All right. I thought it was going to be the AWP, something right? Just like, all right, JW, cool. Cool, just do your thing. And yeah, well, that's that, isn't it? 12 to 10, Fnatic's trying to get that gap closed now.
That's almost a scary position for Olaf. I mean, you see Flusher fall, but if Olaf dies there to Nico, that means his bomb site's just overtaken. So risky, but Olaf, it pays off for him.
You gotta risk it for a bit.
24 kills for Olofmeister.
Yeah, he's starting to feel this game, which is brilliant to see. It feels like I haven't been saying his name that much in their previous games, in any point. It feels like he's been the one like, he's in the background, JW's playing well. But right now, Good mollies and a bit of aggression. This is what we want to see from these boys. But Carrigan, perfectly present, not allowing it to slip. He's got to know Dennis is there. He's just going to have to find the right time. And Crims is going to come and help him out. And Carrigan expects it. Backs away. You almost got the lineup. You almost felt that maybe he could have done something with that. But overwhelmed, but it's allowed time. Yeah, and any other player, Carrigan hunts down that second player that was blind, Dennis, but he's passive with it. Maybe not thinking as blind as he was. So that could have been a double kill, but it's not. Either way, FaZe have great advantages on this outer bomb site. Nico's worked his way up so far. Finds the kill on Olofmeister. He's been silent that whole time. And there's Keo chiming in. They know exactly where these last two players are. They should. That's collapsed for Fnatic. So 3-man aggression towards Ivy. It doesn't pay off. And now they're stuck trying to get back into the site, and it's not going to work. Nico, again, making independent decisions, pushing up and getting aggressive, finding the plays to open up this site for FaZe. He's such a powerful individual. You watch him play, just the decision he makes. They're not always the easy ones, but they're so smart, and he just knows he's going to land it. So Crims, well, the bomb's on B for one, so have fun. Keo Rain just sitting around, just waiting just in case, and Nico's still around. You know, he's still wanting to get this away. By the way, that's all Nico. I mean, people were wondering how he was going to fit into this FaZe system, and it's obvious, at least early on. I mean, they have only had, what I think Yanko said, it was only 3 days of practice for this team, but we were hoping that Kerrigan was going to keep him off the leash, and that's something where Nico makes that play based off what Kerrigan's communicating is happening towards Ivy. That's not someone telling him to push up like that. That's him saying, all right, if there are going to be 2 players there, that means there's not going to be any real sight, or there shouldn't be any real sight on that lane. So he pushes all the way down it to get advanced position. I just want to see how far he can go as a player now. He's in the perfect lineup for this. He's doing very well. You know, we're talking about Olofmeister dropping big kills. You've got the perfect reply in Nico. So far, FaZe now finally get one really on the board. 13-10, building back into. It's not letting Fnatic get control on the CT side. It felt like it was a bit of a spree there for Fnatic. It was like, oh god, they're starting to take control. Oh, no, it's all happening. But Alu, there we go. Back away from that, my friend. And let's just take our time here, please. Don't boost in the fire. Oh, he had the lineup. Yeah, he did. He had the idea as well, but JW too quick. Even Olaf with the assist, and now he's actually even seen that the AWP has been picked up as well. So he can call out to his teammates. There's still an AWP in play for the FaZe side of things. 10-13, Fnatic trying to come back and inch this scoreline a little bit closer. They're trusting Flusha a lot towards the inner bomb site. No one is even close to rotating. He is the god of solo sites. If you want to, well, not Flusha, really, it's Crims normally. So Flusha being put into this, and, you know, certainly stable, doing okay so far. Not, I wouldn't say he's excelling yet, but he's perfectly fine. And they can always have that quick rotate coming in from Olaf as well. So that can be there to support him if needed. And maybe starting to feel a bit pressured here. Maybe starting to think, I need that support. It's all about feeling. They haven't really seen much. They don't have info anywhere else. And now Carrigan's starting to push up through Ivy as well. So the timing's going to be kind of Carrigan causing that nuisance, causing that a little bit of a distraction, keeping them busy. He can also play in and just maybe get that perfect flank on as well, but he has no idea where they are. Now they know the plan. The bomb's going to go down, and this is great timing. Carrigan can now strike, and Reigns push far forward too. This is lovely, but they need to get this one under wraps because Crims and Dennis might have just hindered this massively. Keo has to buy time. They're going to try and push this one quick. Yeah, they know if they have a 1-on-3 in the bomb site. Carrigan outside somewhere. They don't need to deal with them yet if they push this site quickly. Keo with the kill. He's going to get a second one. Olaf tries to tap the defuse, and he hasn't cleared anything out. It's just down to Crims. I don't think he can do anything. Kerrigan is now right behind him. They're watching both sides of this bomb train, and there it is. Keo with 4 kills. He's the hero, but it's the play from Kerrigan. It's that distraction towards Ivy. That's what pulled Olaf away from Flusha, and even caused Flusha to back off and play that inner bomb site even more passively. That's what allows the initial entrance into the bomb site for FaZe, and then even just the 1 kill outside from Kerrigan is huge. It slows things down. It puts Fnatic into a situation they have to decide where they want to commit. 2 stopping that flank, or 2 retaking the bomb site, and no decisive decision was made. Ali looking for early opportunities to be given here, but Fnatic giving nothing. There's a couple of nades, a smoke, and a big denial. JW going to push up close as well. You can see Fnatic just on the cusp of wanting to make a play, wanting to find someone out of place, punish anything FaZe want to try, but you've got to respect that there's still a hell of a lot of utility, a lot better weaponry, and still 5 players, of course, alive for FaZe here. Rain trying to just bait out that shot, find that info, just to secure that little bit of, I guess, peace of mind, saying, I knew he was going to be there, I knew that's what they're going to go for. But not the case. Nothing given up just yet. JW's got a big role to play. He's got a lot of utility as well, and if he gets aggressive and falls with that's a lot of things that Fnatic would love to have. Either way, he's gaining so much information right now. Actually, there's no one around here. I mean, Fnatic obviously can't know this, but there's no one really watching for any kind of push in team mid from Fnatic. So this could be interesting how this plays out. 2 players inside.
for Fnatic, 1 UMP and 1 M4. One close up at the spindles and flushes behind this first train. There's the Molotov to slow things down even further, and the fact there's been no positioning, it's all on Kerrigan to make a play. Olaf finds 1 kill on a Nico,
Pushed up.
Look at him, look how far out he is, and there's Kerrigan. It gets a little bit crazy. This is so discombobulated from FaZe.
What is going on? 3 players now just pinned in. They surely can't break out of this. Flusher Crims just deny this. This is huge and a massive mess up there. But Olaf Meister taking aggressive play not mid-round, late round then. Pushing up, catching out Nico of all players. So
that's such a weird round to watch unfold.
Yeah, that was a very backwards round.
All right, well, I mean, nothing more Fnatic than that at a junction where they absolutely need to get to win. They find one, even with that shotgun in play. So now it's an upgrade to the AWP for JW. Now they've got what they need, and FaZe have not the worst buy ever, but it is a little bit beat up. They've got a deal on Nico and an UMP on Akio.
Well, Nico hasn't been the man with the deagle so far that we've seen doing a lot of the work. It was, I think, Olaf Meister earlier who was doing it, but, you know, he's got a reputation, let's put it that way. So if there's anyone to be on it, I'm fine with Nico with that one. He can do just fine, but still, it's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle at this point.
And Molotov, I don't think it went as far as Fnatic might have wanted it to. Either way, JW, an opportunity for either JW or Alu to find a duel. I think JW spotted Alu jumping back, but I mean, the Molotov, the smoke coming out is going to block him off from any aggression, any peeking down Ivy right now.
FaZe down to 3 smokes here as well, so they're going to have to start really making their minds up on where they want to go. There goes 1, and the others have gone as well. So this looks like it will be a hit towards A, maybe get that pinch in from Kerrigan as well down Ivy, keep Dennis and JW busy while they do try and make something happen. But you got Olaf Meister, you got Crims up close and personal, and here we go, Olaf. What can you do here? Absolutely, well, a little bit of something. Finding Nico again. I guess if you're going to find someone, find him, but he only had the deagle, and in the meantime, the rest of the piece of the puzzle from FaZe all gets put into play. JW's up on the site though. There's still Dennis kind of around here. This is a really weird round again. I don't know how JW was still allowed to be there, but it doesn't matter. FaZe clean it out in the end, and Flush is left now in a 1v2. He's found the first, and he knows where the follow-up is, but he can't find Keo. Keo plays it well, keeps it calm, and puts FaZe onto map point.
Yeah, such awkward timing for Fnatic have to defend that hit. Just as the smoke in ladder room was fading, you could see Crims and Olaf trying to communicate who's watching what, and they just couldn't figure it out. We've talked a lot in the past of how good those two players specifically have played together, but that time it's just a little too hard to handle with 2 different avenues that they have to keep track of, and FaZe is able to run over that defense as they come out. 15-11, and Fnatic, they need another miracle. They have nothing left. It's an M4 on Flush. It's the pistols as well, and the first one goes down. That's JW in ladder room. Now it's up to Olaf. He's going to get aggressive towards Inner, going for the desperation as Dennis is down low as well. He's going to get the flank, but Nico's watching it. The game sense on this guy is unreal, and he has come up huge. The new player for FaZe is pushing them towards the edge of a win.
Absolute power play from Nico, and he might just want more. Kio's going to get it towards Crims, but only to stand for Fnatic, and they are looking for any small margin they can try and find a way back into this round on, but it's going to be tough. They're in a 2v4. They have 1 smoke, and Dennis is on 3 HP with a UMP. It's looking like near on impossible odds.
Yeah, they've got to stick together at this point. Dennis can't do much of anything on his own. UMP and 3 HP, and FaZe so smart to just slow that all down, just let everything subside, let the action go away, and let Fnatic, the team that has 2 players alive, let them make the decision, let them make the risk and the gamble, and it doesn't work. So FaZe just delays for 5 seconds, hits the outer side. There's nothing that can stop this plant, and Flusha, he's got everything to do because Dennis can do nothing.
And so far, it looks like FaZe are about to close this game out, prove that their win is the one to be remembered through the group so far. Alu's going to find Dennis, and now it is just down to Flusher, and there it is, 16-11. Nico looked magnificent for FaZe during that game, and well, it just solidifies their dominance that we saw earlier.
Yeah, it wasn't any kind of crazy explosive performance. It wasn't run out and just get all the kills. It was within the T side, the system that Kerrigan was running. It was the impact plays based off of his own game sense. He comes up massive. And again, Fnatic, it just looks like Train is a map where they just have to rely on Olaf way too much.
And it's a good sight to see Nico smiling, all of them, with a big grin on their face, and you cannot blame them. Things are looking good for FaZe, but let's see how far they can go in this tournament, because so far, they are looking deadly.
Yeah, it's a very, very good start for the group stage for them. And we will be back here with the Desk Thinks after the break.
A flying start for FaZe as they go undefeated so far here on our first day of the Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. 2 wins under their belt, and Fnatic do fall, albeit after a bit of a brawl. Joining me is Chad Birchall and I'm not going to try it. Joona Leppänen.
There we go.
Slowly.
Nailed it.
Slowly but surely. Any of you Finns out there, feel free to tweet me your criticism. I think Natu's been going easy on me, telling me I'm getting it right. Either way, guys, we do see FaZe continue their success. So they started earlier on today. They do replicate it here versus Fnatic. What do we make of this one, Chad? FaZe looking strong on what arguably would be seen as a map that favoured Fnatic.
Yeah, the prediction phase we had, Alex. You know, there's not a lot to go on, really, right? Because this is a Fnatic in a rebuilding phase, and this is FaZe with a new star player. So it was going to be interesting to see what they could bring. I was impressed with FaZe, the fact that they were actually using their executes and stuff when it was important. And then you flip it over and you look at Fnatic when they needed executes, even just a wall of smokes to get the bomb down. They didn't have that in their arsenal to pull out on their T side. Something that I think is interesting is the fact that FaZe towards the end, they still wanted to take it slow, even though they had such a lead. They didn't throw any fast strategies. I think they were kind of saved by like Nico getting that Deagle entry and really like helping open up rounds like that. It looked like they might have got a bit scared, and Fnatic could have shut them down. We could have found ourselves in an overtime predicament, but you know, the people stood up and made the frags they had to. I was impressed by Olaf at what do you guys call it? Ivy.
Ivy.
Yeah, he's dominant. He dominated that part of the map. In Australia, we call it vines.
Vines.
It kind of works, yeah. You guys just like to be different, don't you?
It's not intentional, mate. We're so far away. We only know our own comms. It's changed now.
I'll tell you what, for all you British people out there, Australians call chips hot chips. How unnecessary is that?
Yep.
I don't need to know the heat of them. They could be cold. What happens if they've gone cold?
What we call
hot chips.
We call crisps chips.
Oxymoron chips.
No.
Okay, we've got distracted. Either way,
Slightly.
Joona, do jump straight back in. I mean, to replicate some of the thoughts of Chad, he was impressed by Olaf. Nico at the top of the scoreboard as well, 26 from him.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first half, I thought Fnatic could have easily had a way bigger amount of rounds, to be honest with you. The rounds were so very close.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe even partially when it comes to their decision making, they might have just gone for a lot of the defaults and grinding around because
there. So he actually does die to the bomb explosion, but obviously in OT that's a very little consequence.
Being able to save those weapons, though, is pretty important for Astralis. Let's see here, though, they're going to be depleting all of their funds pretty much. So we've seen it go for a lot of connector plays on the T side, occupying onto the A side of the map. And we're going to see that again here. It's looking likely to start things off with at the very least. And Astralis again haven't shown too much interest in trying to take connector control for themselves.
Yeah, it's just been NIP. I mean, we saw this in regulation too, as NIP was basically just a lot of walk up and connector control, keeping the options open for them across the map. Astralis, you know, with the exception of your average push into bathroom or water every once in a while, have been playing a very, very passive CT side on this map, and that has remained the case even now going into OT, as we've seen here. So still just playing it back to the sites. Obviously Device a little bit more push forward here to try to get an early scout onto some of the plays that he's working over here towards the bomb site. And he's gonna edge out a kill from it too. So he's able to pick up Forest. Didn't spot anyone else from it though. So no overreaction just yet. We won't see any rotates called in.
.50 seconds left. Bomb now making a move over to the B side, try and congregate with Get Rights, who is already laid in wait. Now I'm going to be facing against Zipex and Dupree if they push in the next few moments. Kia B's up on the site. They don't have anyone in heaven to look down either, so it is going to be a 3-on-2 if this execute comes to fruition. Meanwhile, Exist is out all by his lonesome. He's going to have to take quite a while to wrap himself and join the rest of his team. The damage could have already been inflicted by that point. Smokes into heaven, keeps that from being an issue, but here come the trades. It's going to go Astralis' way. Zipex again with 2 kills. So impactful. And herein lays the issue. Exist wasn't with the rest of his team, so he comes in last, and he will be the last to fall in the round. 20-19.
Astralis with the lead. They will now have the advantage going into the second half here. Keep in mind, guys, the magic number, I believe, is 22, right? Yeah.
Correct, yeah.
22 is going to be our magic number to actually win the match. If you want to try and take it to triple OT, you're going to want at least 21. So Astralis only need to win 1 to secure the triple OT. 2 out of the 3 here will get them the actual victory.
Interestingly enough, both teams elect to not take an AWP. Full assault rifles.
I mean, that makes
Thank you very
sense, considering the performances we've seen so far, right?
Yeah. I think Device has been struggling with the AWP. Forest had a few picks, but nothing really extraordinary. So, and both teams are happy enough to just run with rifles. It's not like their AWP is a terrible rifles. Like Forest, very good with the rifle. Device certainly can hold his own as well. Plus, it also means that when you get through to the latter stages, this overtime, if it goes the distance, the economy is going to play less of a factor because you haven't invested so much money into an AWP.
Yeah, not only this too, but I mean, like some of the taps and just how proficient Forrest was looking in the past couple rounds with the AK. It's certainly looking like the better gun for him at the moment, so can't blame him at all for wanting to stick to the rifle. The M4, obviously, in this case, not the one on the CT side, but still, same basic principle. As Astralis will move in, and it's actually pretty light from NIP down here in the connector this time. They've been a bit more aggressive to hold this before. And the timing, actually, here, is we did see this little mini boost inside of the connector. Almost worked out to edge out Pith, but he was caught, or he wasn't caught, I should say, crossing back over here towards construction. He's able to escape freely over there to the B bomb site, and he gets away. So no one meeting each other just yet. So all remain quiet on the battlefield, although that may change now over here from Long. It's going to be Forrest catching Device, going for the second one here, but nope, the trade comes out from KRB, and we go down to a 4v4. Time getting low, though, and Astralis is going to go for a fast play here and towards A.
Needs to be careful, though, because there is a decent crossfire being set up. They exist. Round on the side, he's going to bag himself to kill into Dupree. Not able to get a second one, but has the damage already been inflicted? No, maybe not. 20 seconds left. And Zipex again is going to step up for another couple kills. So he's in another clutch. Can he get yet another one under his belt? Get right falls down. Not like this, ninjas. You can't afford to lose this round once again. And it's going to come down to Pit against Zipex. He's going to go for the plant. He's going to hold on firm. With 4 seconds left, it gets finalized. Pit has been spotted. A flash is going to come up with a peek behind it. Pit comes back out into the open again. And then Zipex is still alive and kicking enough to make this a real nightmare for Nip. Pit does have a kit. And has he just spotted? No, he just looks away at the wrong possible second. The worst second. But he's going to hold on to the defuse. He's got this. What a strange round, but Nipper picked it up.
Zipex, for the first time, I think, in total so far today, he has actually lost a clutch where it almost seemed like he could not be defeated in 1vx scenarios. But finally, he's been smited, this time by Pit, due to an overestimation about if Pit would actually stick at that plant or not. The thing is, though, is you can't really blame him for that. Almost every other time he was put in a situation like that, when they planted in front of the dice box and he would retreat into the bathrooms, they almost always tried to play it out to the time. Specifically, there was the one very crucial round where Exist specifically did that, and he ended up winning the round as he baited Glaive into a wide peek. So, considering the mindset from NIP before that, can't really be blamed. But a spur-of-the-moment decision from Pit to stick the plant works out beautifully. And now they're going to get aggressive and try and crush Astralis right here. Device and Dupree, though, they bring it back and they trade those kills in to put this into a 4v3 at the beginning of the round.
Again, 22 rounds is what both teams are aiming for. Right off the bat, Astralis have the advantage. Again, the Molotov is a little bit too deep. It's not going to deter Forrest from watching the short side from water. But Astralis have other ideas anyway. They're already moving onto the A site. Freiburg has a huge task ahead of him if they do decide to execute, but they're having cold feet. Going back again into connector. Astralis keeping their options open. They don't want to commit to anything just yet.
Okay. Freiburg kind of...
Nice dink there. Freiburg's like, what, you what, mate?
Yeah, Freiburg's like, okay, that makes sense. I don't even know if he was looking for him in that situation, but he gets brought down to 66 HP, and well, now they're going to fight for the control of the B bomb site, and he traded back and forth, but Forrest still holds the line. It's Dupree in a 1v2. He knows where Forrest is, and I think Freiburg peeked him a moment ago too, so we should know where they both are. It's hunting down Forrest, that's the key one. Gets that one, and the second one, and Dupree coming out with a 1v2 clutch, puts Astralis in the lead, and one more round away from closing out the map.
So another match point. I think they've already had 2, at the very least, so this is number 3. Can they get it done? It's also pretty rough by a couple of UMPs. Does afford them more nades though. So as far as scrappy buys go, this is one of the better ones you're going to see. Full AKs on the side of Astralis. That smoke not quite able to cover the entirety of the staircase, so Freiburg's not even going to bother with it. Cold play stack again in connector, going back to what we saw get them so many rounds earlier on. The spray comes through with the UMP. They get right, can't get a second. Astralis again will take the lead, but only for a few seconds. It's short-lived. Pit will answer back before he finds himself on the receiving end of a battering. Freiburg and Exist to save Nip in a 3-on-2, and Exist with the spray down. down before he drops to a Zipex. One-on-one again. This time, Zipex is up against Freiburg.
And so now Zipex will have to clutch again. It's a lot easier this time, though, the 1v1. He's got a lot of utility to play with, but Freiburg already knows where his opponent's position. It's not going to work as well in the other direction here. Thankfully for Zipex, he still has the bomb under his control. He still has a minute left on the clock, so basically an infinite amount of time in CS terms to play with here. He just has to sit back for a moment, and he's going to play this cautiously. Hoping to try and bait, actually, Freiburg. If he can play that sort of a mind game there, you saw him closing the door. If he could do that kind of a mind game to bait Freiburg into peeking, it would have been beautiful, but I don't think he's going to take it. At the moment, he's just sticking in CT main, expecting Zipex to actually get aggressive and push him.
When it comes to players you want in this position, there aren't many that you'd put over Zipex. He is quite the clutch master. He has Nace to play with. They're throwing that smoke onto the site and planting behind the sandbags. But Freiburg has called this one. Is he going to see Zipex peeking up there? UMP at this range is absolutely savage, especially considering that Zipex only has 52 health to play with. But he's made a move towards Graffiti. He gets spotted, though. Freiburg definitely saw a pixel, and I feel like if he had a kit, he'd full defuse from this point. That's the unfortunate set of circumstances for him. Going to throw out the Molotov and go for that defuse. Zipex is going to be peeking from heaven. Oh, what a shot from Freiburg to the head. And he has enough time to defuse. We're going to another overtime.
Oh my goodness. They bring it back after having to deal with a technical difficulty into double OT. And now they not only do it again, but they're going to do it for a third time here. NIP brings it back once more as they were on the cusp of losing the game. Yet again, it's always been Astralis getting to match point first. But NIP somehow continues to bring it back. Triple overtime now. Still no winner in this matchup, as again it's become a bit of a contest here now between who can have more clutches here. Is it Zipex or Exist that comes up? It's the battle of the X's in a way here, and this time Freiburg shows up in a big way with a beautiful headshot at long range in the UMP, the mini rifle as it has now been called, and it allows NIP to survive.
25 is the number that both teams are now aiming for. Oh man. I mean, we said it would be a marathon of matches today. This match within itself is feel like a somewhat of a marathon, Blue.
Yeah, we're about 4 hours in and we haven't even finished our second match yet, just for the record. So the games have proven to be quite lengthy today, but they've been good at that. Obviously our first one with Optic playing Astralis there, and now NIP's brought just as much of a treat playing against Astralis here. So Exist actually finds an early kill this time around here. He's going to be contributing to that from up on top, obviously, catching one of the members of Astralis getting a bit too aggressive, a little bit too early, but this was the only A player they had. Everybody else had gone downstairs early on, either obviously over here towards water or over towards Graffiti. So the full bulk of the team and their eventual execute is still very well formed at this point.
It's been so much marathon, I think I just said fields. Nice London, mate. Top kick. Right, Glave's down at 37 anyway. Nip, you know, they're proving to be able to hang on and be a tenacious bunch of players. Stack outside of B, we'll see Astralis trying to set up for a play. Flashes, not quite on point enough to dispatch of Get Right. He gets the trade, and there's Exist as well. He's incredibly low alongside Pit. There was a chance there to maybe force their way out onto the B side. Device in a 1-on-2, does have control of the bomb. And 35 seconds, but he has no idea where these last two CTs are, and he finds out first hand to Freiburg's hands. Nip edge ahead once again.
Yeah, so this is like this. I think it was NIP that started off with the advantage in some of our last ones here too. So it's been a very much a repeat of history as we go again and again and again back into the fray here. Cannot declare ourselves a full winner yet, and the frag totals continue to climb here too. Just taking a look, giving some perspective to things. We have now, I think, 4 or 5 players over 30 frags at this point. One player over 40 frags in the case of Zipex at 43 and 25. So certainly some of the big guns showing up to the table here, but it's going to be Kirby that finds the first kill this time, and a bit of an over-investigative Freiburg is knocked back out, but as we do see Dupree try to push his way from the connector, Forrest is there to punish that one as well.
Another even trade to kick the round off. This game could not be any closer. Tasty shot by Kirby onto Get Right. Had no chance to dodge out on that death. Quick rotation through Zip on connector. Forrest will get himself yet another kill, but again it's traded back and forth throughout this entire match. Has been seemingly the way that things have gone. This does put Exist in a tenuous position. Down he goes to the hands of Zipex, Pit in a 1-on-2. This is asking a hell of a lot from the newest recruit. Although he has been a member of NIP for ages, to be fair.
Yeah, he's been on the team for quite a while now, actually. So, Pit is going to try to swing his way up. Thankfully, well, somewhat thankfully, players are back, so they're not going to get the read on him instantly. But still, Zipex swinging back out. They have to note that he's somewhere playing close up, and they've just confirmed his position there with that swing from Zipnix. So now Pit's gonna have to try to play this out. But again, this is always nigh impossible to try and clutch that out unless you get really lucky, or the peaks from the tees are very over aggressive there. So very little chance that he was gonna win that one to begin with, and things go pretty much as expected. Astralis is now gonna tie it back up again as we go into the third round, the final round of this first half of our third overtime.
For those of you guys that are spamming like camera tours and stuff, keep in mind Blue's streaming, observing, and casting at the same time.
Yeah.
Cut him some slack, bros.
The auto director is not really working out. I'm trying to turn on auto director whenever I'm casting and then actually observe when you're casting, but it's not the best system, to say the least.
I've done it myself. It's not easy. It definitely is not easy. There's a reason why observers get hired at events and the casters don't control the camera there. Just throwing it out there. Either way, 22 apiece, the scoreline. Could not be any more tense of a match. Again, it's going to be 25 that both teams are aiming for. That is the winning number. That is the finish line. Oh, Get Right hasn't used this position yet. He's going to get 2 kills, nearly a third, but his damage surely gives Ninjas of Pajamas almost the win in amongst itself. Dupree comes through for 1 kill, but it's a consolation frag, 23-22, the score.
And IP holds the lead. They are going to want to try and claim again, just to keep everybody in the loop here. They need 2 of these 3 to win, 1 to tie. And Astralis is the reverse. I think they need to win. They need to win all 3 if they want to outright win it. And then they need to win, I think, 2 to tie it. Math is always very confusing, especially at 6 a.m.
Yeah, especially after a game that's lasted like kind of almost 2 maps by itself.
Yeah.
If not 3 actually, with the delays.
And just going after another one that was of comparable length.
Yep, indeed. But it has been one hell of a match. It's been entertaining Counter-Strike. Yep, with the advantage. Need 2 rounds. This time there is going to be an ult picked up for Device. Intriguing. They didn't go for this the last time around. They were almost in an identical position. So obviously feeling like that ult could give them a little bit of power to play with. They're going to go for the boost. Device gets flashed, instantly retaliates with a shot, but it will not be connecting.
IP basically just sneaking their way through the tunnels right now, leading up to connector here. Very, very little presence across the map at all beyond this, though. As we can see, they're all holding back, and oh, okay, round's getting canceled for some reason. What's going on? You have the chat. I don't.
I don't even want to read what it says. It's a lot of words I can't really read out. Let's just say they're a bit pooper paints in chat.
Okay.
They're not happy right now. I don't even know what's happening.
Well, we don't know, so.
Well, I'm being told there's some issues with microphones. Issues with sound right now.
Okay.
Which has been a recurring theme, to be fair, on both matches. And I'm not sure what the ETA is on it. They're still discussing amongst themselves as to what the issue is. I think they're asking for an admin as well.
Yeah, just give clarity to this too. Metas actually has the chat, the in-game chat working. I know you guys can probably hear the clicks, but I have it off currently, so you guys probably can't see the messages. Metas is basically our info guy. Since again, we're not actually at the event in Poland. I'm on the other side of the world from it, and Metas is over in England, so we're not necessarily in the loop when it comes to the information when this kind of stuff happens. So we just have to kind of go off of what info we can get from the in-game stuff. So go ahead.
Trust me, Blue. You're happy you don't have the chat up because it's not very flattering to the event right now.
All right, guys. So I think we're gonna kick up the tunes again while we wait for this to get resolved. as soon as it is ready. I mean, like I said before, we'll be right back as soon as the match is live, so just stick around and we'll be bringing it back to you in a second here. And we're back. All right. Like I said, I think some technical difficulties there causing a bit of a delay, but we are back into it now. Obviously, that round that was being played out, there was nothing that really happened, so it's not going to count. We just reset the half there and start off from the 4th round of the 3rd overtime. Let's get to it, as Astralis are getting rather aggressive, even into the connector here, too. Glaive will have himself quite a bit of a battle if he faces this big push that's about to work his way from NIP.
Yeah, so it is going to be the same buy as last time, of course, before the restart came in. The device does have the AWP. This time he didn't have the spawn to really utilize onto the balloon side as he did before, and he actually had the drop on Kirby, but doesn't land a single bullet to him. Forest will dispatch of Kirby, so he can't stay around mid for too much longer. One fun trade actually probably favors Ninjas in Pajamas slightly in this kind of a scenario, though. Well, for a couple more seconds before Freiburg bites the dust.
Yeah, Device completely blind, still finds that shot. Beautiful in the timing from him to be able to pick that one back up. So Astralis will still hold the advantage for right now. NIP a bit scattered, of course, but still very decisively going to be proceeding up towards A. They won't change their plans based off of that, but they no longer are going to be able to have any long pressure, which enables for almost an instant flank against them. Device is caught peeking there by Get Right, so they take him down at the very least. But like I mentioned before, Glaive can immediately swing back in and shut these guys down from the backside. I think he's going to call for Xyp9x to rotate back up. They're still keeping Dupree downstairs in the event that NIP do swing this back, but I don't think that's going to happen. They're going up onto the site. Forrest actually makes very quick work of Xyp9x, but I think it's actually going to call off the flank. They'll just have Dupree do it instead as he's working his way up from the other bomb site. And now Glaive is a swing back in, does get that first kill, but the bomb is going to go down onto the site, and now Exist is there for the trade. So it's all up to Dupree as he's sneaking his way back from the connector.
Intelligent place to plant it as well. They didn't know if there's a player rotating or if there's a player long. They planted safe on the truck, and they both peak at the same time. Perfect play by the Ninjas, and they now have 2 of their own match points. Just need to convert one of these. Astralis will have a full buy, and I believe I saw an AWP dropped. Yeah, so Dupree's Device, pardon me, is going to have another AWP. But the Nip boys now have a real shot at taking this map.
He found himself a good shot last time. It just wasn't able to carry it over into the actual gunfight, unfortunately. So NIP were able to crunch it there. And now, like I said before, this is like the most leeway anyone has had in this entire match with regards to actually, winning it out. NIP have themselves 2 in a row to try and close over. I think both of the other overtimes have come down to just 1 potential round. So for right now, NIP, again, just taking it slowly. And again, taking that connector control, which they've been allowed to have through this entire map. Very, very few occasions has Astralis actually actively attempted to stop them from taking connector control. So once again, they're just going to walk right in and grab it for free.
That's what they do that really counts, and Astralis have given them connector so many times so far over the duration of this map. We're now into, what, the 47th round, I think? If my maths is correct. No, that's just absolutely absurd. Could we be heading to quadruple overtime? It will certainly not want that to become a reality and convert one of these next 2 rounds. They're moving out of connector over to the A side. 45 seconds to execute on the site with. Molotov's going to go in, make sure no one's hiding on the short side there behind the alcove. And now Device is going to have a peek with his AWP. This is a very sketchy position, especially if he gets double peeked. Smoke is going to stop him from getting any picks for the time being. Does rattle off a shot on his retreat. Now shy of 30 seconds. Ninjas Pajamas have got very little to play with in terms of any information, in terms of nades. They're going to have to rely on pure entry frag power.
And they don't have any leeway on this bomb side either. Everybody from Astralis is here to defend it. Kirby already chiming in for 2 kills. He gets himself a 3rd as well before finally going down to Forest. It's Forest and Get Right left alone here now. Xyp9x and Glaive move back in and they trade out those last few kills, so Astralis holds on. But we've got 1 more round to go.
Could we have an extra overtime to go as well? I'm not sure what happened there for Nip. Just leaving things far too late. If they had a pick or two, you know, if it was like a 3-on-5, then it would make sense to execute with that kind of time left. But a 5-on-5 when you have no information, no nades left, it's incredibly ballsy. Like, you're really resting on the likes of Freiburg to get you those entries.
And
they speed things up in this round, Blue.
Well, the one thing that you can immediately notice on this round is that they avoid the connector. That's been like their go-to spot for OT and in regulation on T side. They very rarely have changed that up, but now that, you know, they were utterly crushed, again, they weren't really playing to a strat that would really keep their A play a secret, but now hopefully by changing it up a little bit and shifting a lot of the pressure towards long, they might have a better chance of doing that, or at the very least trying to catch a couple members of Astralis off guard. That was the big issue, is that they waited so long to actually execute there that Astralis knew with 100% certainty that it was going to be coming to that A bomb site, and they had a 4-stack there, which basically made it impossible for them to push. And this time, again, I'm not sure how many players exactly got spotted there, but that jump up from Device, he was able to spot at least 1 or 2 of them trying to push up towards long. Oh, and there's going to be the boost up from behind the APC on top of another teammate, where he grabs the kill and exists, and that's a very crucial player to knock out.
That's a perfect start as well. Nade also finds his way out to Freiburg. Here comes a spray from Forest. Pit comes in with the kill. Nip are going to go down extra player though. Zipex, I think that was through smoke. Gets a second kill. Freiburg's going to try and finalize it onto him. And indeed he will. 2-on-3 as the bomb does get planted. But it's more the issue of another boost coming in here from Astralis. Here comes Freiburg now on a 1-on-3. Down he goes. Quadruple overtime.
We do it again. There's no breaks. We're just going to continue Devices dancing a little bit there as they do get the defuse. So now the real question is, now that, you know, this game has been going on for, I would say, at least an hour and a half now, this to a certain degree becomes a war of attrition and who can actually sustain for this long and keep, you know, their wits about them to actually close out on the match, as this is where things are going to get really crazy.
I mean, if we're struggling, but just imagine what the players are like at this stage. They must be gasping.
Especially Nip after what happened with Exist back in, I think that was first overtime that disconnected them.
Well, here we go. Now the magic number, 28. Just because this is kind of unfamiliar territory. You don't often see games go this kind of a distance.
Especially not this tier.
Yes, absolutely not.
So NIP, well, another change up to their T side. Again, something that we didn't see a whole lot of back in regulation or any of the previous overtimes, is they're just going to stretch themselves over here into a B play. A lot of Molotovs running out to the site, and they get the first initial kill here. Good response to the flashbang, allows for Zip to sneak in a kill. Kierby finding another one as well, and he's going to be available here. Glaive, this is from the pit, to further restrict the access that NIP get. It was good initially, but there was no follow-up to actually get site control. So now Astralis are fighting back hard, and it's not looking like NIP are going to be able to recover unless there's a big hero play from Forest.
Exists 12 health and a dream. Bomb dropped in a horrible position for him on top of everything else, just adding to his woes. And keep in mind that Nip did lose their first game against Fnatic 16-14, so this would effectively, if they lose this, be at 0-2 already. Early stages of the groups. Astralis swept aside Optic, although it was certainly a lot closer than I'm sure they were anticipating. 50 seconds left. Exist has time, but just doesn't have health, doesn't have position.
Doesn't have the bomb either.
Yep.
Here's the other interesting thing too, if we look at this from like a meta perspective over the course of the entire tournament, is these guys still have to play the rest of their groups today. So they're playing these long matches, especially Astralis, and they still have to get through the rest of their group stage matches today too. So there's a lot more CS to be played for these two teams. And they have to try and keep their momentum going throughout the rest of the day.
Absolutely. Astralis take the advantage this time. This is, ladies and gents, the 50th round of Counter-Strike on this map. We have now got into two full maps of CS, if I went the distance. That's how long these guys have been playing for. Just to put it in perspective. That's without really any breaks. Just constant Counter-Strike.
There was a bathroom break at one point, but that was about it. As there's actually going to be mollies on both sides here in the connector. NIP wanting to take control. This is the first time in quite a while we've actually seen Glaive or anyone on the Astralis try to resist this. We've seen Device as well fire off the shot. That is going to take down Forrest, who is lurking over there in the playground. So they've taken him down. That's really good control for Astralis. Again, that's really going to restrict NIP to only a few options for their actual take. So they'll be able to read into this quite nicely and rotate accordingly, as we can see now from the players on the back A site.
Device for the opening pick in this confrontation. He's got both of them, actual fact, and he's going to be getting a fourth on top of it. Great work by the AWPer, finally showing what he's capable of doing. Gone under the radar a bit. 2-round advantage for Astralis. 2 more required to finalize this map. What I meant is, I should also clarify this, guys. I didn't mean like 2 full in terms of the 60. I just mean if it went the distance in terms of being a long game. But yeah, EU maths, OP.
And well, the real question is, are we going to see the 50 bomb from Xippix? He's the closest right now at 49. One more, and we'll have ourselves a bit of a 50 bomb on him. It's 49. He's still holding like a super positive ratio too. 49 and 28. He's up by that many kills at this point. He's up by, I think, 21 currently. So Xippix moving in though, and it's gonna be fast from Nip. But this is all a ruse. It's really just to apply a bit of pressure early on and try to force some of these rotates. The curious thing though is that they apply this pressure and they're nowhere near ready to try and push in towards A. Most of them are still really just going into long when they go for this hit. So Device, he's still able to watch out for this type of a play. Flashbang's gonna go over, but that's easy to dodge. And Forrest just has to cross back after he loses his teammate here.
This would be the first time, if Astralis can convert this, that we've seen one team take a 3-0 lead in overtime. So Nip will be desperately trying to make sure that stat doesn't become a reality. Device in for another one. Down he goes. Freiburg and Forest. Have a lot of work ahead and 45 seconds left. And if they do go into connector, Kirby is in prime position to strike.
Yeah, they've been doing a really good job, Astralis, of reading the position from NIP on this half so far. Freiburg sees it, but still, Kirby's able to hold, gets the double kill to end it. And that's the first flawless half we've had from one of these teams here. Astralis goes up 27-24, and now they have 3 chances to close out the map.
Yeah, and as I said, we haven't seen this yet. We haven't seen a team get a 3-0 clean sweep in overtime. So this definitely doesn't bode well for Nip. It would be a heartbreaking loss if they did lose from this stage. I mean, we'll be to whoever loses this game. They've been through a grueling matchup, a real gauntlet of Counter-Strike. So here we go, Nip. 3 rounds required in a row on their CT side, and CT side has been the weaker side for both teams throughout this game. Forrest is going to go for an AWP. One of the first times we've seen this in overtime for him, right off the bat. We're trying to mix things up as Device did.
NIP are scrambling around the map at this point too, as they now need to pull off the same feat. There's no chance for them to actually win it here. They'd have to go to quintuple overtime to try and still close this one out. So things are certainly looking bleak indeed for NIP. And keep in mind, again, as Metas has mentioned a few times here, this would send them down 0-2 after already losing their first game versus Fnatic just a couple of hours ago. It's Kirby that opens things up, though. Looking good for Astralis on the opener. That'll give them water control. That's just Get Right. Unfortunately, being punished for his aggression. And now Astralis, if they want to, they can poise up for a quick B execute. It's split evenly, just 2-2 across the map. But it seems like with the time remaining, Astralis are still going to do a little bit more investigating. Just sending Kirby back, though. More than likely is going to regroup with these guys and watching out for any quick flanks. And then if they don't see anything, into the B site they'll go.
Well, Nip are trying to spread out as much as they can across the map. You've got Forrest looking down long. Freiburg was watching short. 2 players on B watching Monster and short respectively. But the issue is that when you spread out that thin, if you get that fist of the terrorist just punching through your face, there's very little you can do to deter against that. Smokes are starting to connect on the site, and with already Nip with 2 players left, it's not looking too good. Freiburg comes up, loads of players ahead of him. He goes down. Forrest is going to have to clutch this 1-on-4, otherwise Astralis will break the Swedish hearts and move through to a 2-0. Do you have it in your locker, Forrest? Here we go.
No room to get in either. He was smoked back off, so he's got to delay this one. Good flashbang, but they're all there, and they're all going to be able to shut it down. Flawless 4th overtime from Astralis. They do win that war of attrition, and they will go up 28-24 to finally, after almost 2 hours of combat, end this map. Astralis continue forward, and again, it's after looking so weak at the beginning of the map that they do end up coming out on top to that degree. Same thing that they had to go up against with Optic there, where they started off from behind and then swung it back towards the end of the first half. Well, they do the same thing here in the second half. After going down from 11-4, they win it in the 4th overtime with a final score of 28-24. That's going to close out this match for right now, guys. We should have our next game. I don't actually know if we're going according to our usual schedule now, because this game also took so long. So we're going to figure out what exactly is happening. And as soon as we have our next match, we'll be bringing that to you guys. Stick around here on the B stream for IEM Katowice 2017. The group stages live right here from the internet.
Low enough to do this one. He's just hoping that it connects, and I don't see this one happening.
Oh, and who is that? Tarek. playing with his balls, just pushing right through that smoke, right at the shotgun. That's huge.
Phrasing.
Yeah, I know. You like that? No, I mean,
Love it.
What was it? A ball tear? Ball tear? That's Tarek showing us what exactly that is. And FNX, there's nothing he can do here. So, I mean, he was so very close once he pulls out the pistol through that smoke. Those two players incredibly low. But that's it. I mean, that's the big round for Optic. They do win that, even with this boost. I mean, you can see so many advantages for Optic in this round. They choose to smoke off the bomb site and turn towards CT spawn, so you think at least that's going to be traded, but such a powerful position right now. He gets 2 kills, but Optic still pull it back in their favor.
Yeah, there are mollies to that position if you want to use one there. There's options to get around it, but it is tough. It's tricky. So we'll see how it evolves, if it becomes actually viable down the line. This is still very early days into Inferno, but at the moment you can see Rush well and truly aware of what he's coming into this round. It's Mac 10 on, looking to find these players. Bit of a boost coming out as well, just maybe trying to make the most, bit of a pinch as well towards mid. If you look at it, you've got 4 players, essentially eyes trained towards this Diggity having 2 players. You can do more boosts around here. There's plenty of flower pots you can get yourself up on. One by Boiler side, so have a little look towards that if they fancied it, but no, they're perfectly fine.
The bummer is, I mean, they're relying on this stack. They didn't invest in a flashbang, so if you have some kind of a flashbang, I mean, if you hear the footsteps in that choke point, that's when you can really, really crunch it from both, you know, the rap side and from Diggity. So they don't have that available to them, and it looks like Rush with this Mac 10 is going to be the one to lead the way into the B bomb site, scout things out, and Henny's the only one there. No real execution left, but Optic has given up all their map control towards A, towards middle. Yeah, they're just gonna hit this B bomb site. So there's the smoke. Rush is gonna be the one to lead the way. Molotov's raining out as well. They're basically treating this like a gun round, which is really, really nice to see. We saw how much, you know, the economic damage that can be impacted if you're not cautious on these rounds, you know, has very, very adverse long-term effects.
I don't expect anything to come from this. The positions are good coming out from Optic. They're in a nice spot for this one. And we can see the hunt beginning. Rush can't get the double. That would have been lovely for him if he was able to get a little bit more money, but they're in a good spot anyway. And this should be all she wrote for this round at least.
Yes, it will be. Classic TV show.
Any though, he does get to keep a Mac 10 if he really wants it. How delightful that would be. No, not allowed to keep it. Mixwell, not having that one. And Optic have recovered nicely. After a very back and forth start, very close rounds, they kind of, I guess, kept it clean on the rounds that they really needed to.
Ooh, okay. This is a big buy from Immortals, because they could have chosen to double save and go into the next gun run. They could have had Henny with the 8BP full armor, full nades. They could have had all these M4s with full nades and kits, but they go for, I don't want to call this a force-up at all, but they go for a buy that I think is a little bit earlier, so a lot riding on this. This is going to have a big impact on how the rest of this half plays out. Missed shot from Henny, but he had an opportunity.
Look how quick they're going as well. I want to see if they keep this pace up or if they hit the brakes a little bit. There's always possibilities of second mid presence, so they can't exactly just forego this and completely stack out B. But a little bit of a boost for Rush, just going to be able to peek the corner, get himself up on towards this. Do a couple of nice nades from there, a couple of nice smokes from the edge if you fancy it. Doesn't need to, cleared it out.
But if you look at the defense in this A bomb site on the minimap, Henny, FNX, Bolts both playing on that side, so they have long rotations over towards B. Bolts gets that first kill. Steel had started the rotate, but Lucas buys him time by getting that first kill. Optic, they have lost the front power of this attack. It's a 3-on-5. They are in the B bomb site, but Immortals is just going to play retake.
Yeah, look at this. Look at Lucas and Steel instantly just saying, all right, take it. That's fine. We can play 5v3 retakes. That's no problem for us. Or at least that's what they intend to do right now. And he's trying to land a shot through the smoke. Not going to get it, but Hiko's taking damage. 37 HP. No nades, no mollies, no kits.
The one risk there still is there's no utility. There's no Molotovs for these positions. Hiko's going to get aggressive. They line up, but he can't get any. Almost a brilliant play.
That could have been everything. It's now down to Nap and Mixwell, and they're still okay at this point. Now it's falling to pieces. Mixwell can't dig deep enough, and a lovely approach from Immortals there, holding back just long enough and getting the defuse in now.
Yeah, and this buy pays off. They don't lose anyone in this round, which is stellar. Brilliant decision from the B defense on Immortals. Get those 2 kills, or once 1 kill came from the A bomb site. But once they were up at a 5-on-3, they just give up the site. They say, we'll play a retake. We don't need to lose ourselves to try and to put our teammates in a hole to retake this bomb site. So I think actually Optic plays that differently if they know there's no utility on the remaining players. Obviously, that's impossible to know. But I mean, in that kind of a situation, you play that crossfire because they don't have flashes. They don't have Molotovs to force you out. So almost brilliance with that pop flash and Hiko as well.
Let's see how this one goes out now. We've got the ult coming in for Mixwell on the T side. Taking it straight towards Apps. Why not? Henny showing already that he wants Banana to be pretty much in his control. He's not letting that one slip, but FNX on the other edge of the smoke, and he can see the feet on the cross, which is actually a bit cheeky as well. This is really nice. This makes it uncomfortable for the T side if they want to go for something here. Gonna molly it out. Gonna hear a bit of that, I can imagine, but no, they're just gonna hold it, play it calm, play it cool. They have very little map control though towards Banana, so in the back of their minds, they've got to be worried. What if Immortals start pushing? What if they start trying to be a little bit more aggressive? But at the moment, not to be the case.
Yeah, they don't have a care in the world that Banana is open. No one's even looking that way. The good thing is Immortals doesn't need to push it. Henny there with the AWP is allowing for the cheated rotate over towards A. That's that fourth player coming to the A bomb site. We saw this a lot in the old Inferno when it's back. And we'll see. It's going to be a heavy hit out towards Palace. Tarek all on his own in mid.
Well, that flash didn't really help FNX there, but he's still going to get the frag. But it's only Hiko to make an impact so far for Optic. This has not gone to plan in any way, shape, nor form. FNX stands tall and will deny everything coming out of that balcony. So, bit of a rough start there for Optic coming into that one. That just wasn't how you want to begin things. And, Henny, just beautiful work towards Rush.
Yeah, this is that's actually very, very nice for Immortals. It took him a long time because of all the damage that was done early on from Optic on the econ rounds. Took him a long time to get this AWP in his hands. And last round, I think he had either glass cannon or just the light armor. Now that he's got all the nades, all the utility, he can be a little bit more versatile with them. And we've seen the AWP in the previous version of Inferno. Obviously we haven't seen this one too much, but that was a weapon that on many other maps, I mean, you can have an AWP towards B, you can have an AWP peeking mid, you can have it peeking window into alt mid, you can have it holding halls. There's a lot of different places. Yeah. Inferno has always been nice for that. You imagine JW really showing off its versatility towards the A side of the map.
Peak from apps were always deadly.
Yeah, he's always been dirty with that. So, I mean, you know if you're on Optic side, you do not want Henny to start building momentum with this weapon.
Yeah, just so you guys know, it is a tactical pause from Optic, and I think, why not call it now? You know, you're 6-3, you're just starting to maybe run into a couple of issues there. Maybe just want to talk things through, make sure they're in the right mindset, just keeping everything in the right place. It's unpaused now. So coming back into this one, money's a little bit off there. You got Naf on a decent amount, but everyone else kind of spread out a little bit lower. So this could be curious for Optic, see what they go for in this. If they get a couple of pistols, maybe just drop some things out. Or they are going to go for the buy up into this, then get everything they can. Get 2 Galils. Big investment from Naf. Obviously, he's kind of just bankrolling the team at this point.
Curious how late that buy was, considering they just had a timeout as well. You think they would, maybe just talking over the plan and just hadn't bought up, but you'd like to see that. I mean, it could be a small issue that I'm talking about, but if you have a plan going into it in that timeout, you think that buy is going to be ready to go. Either way, they probably didn't call something fast, so it doesn't have too much impact. Henny with the op still looking towards B, and this is the big thing. I mean, you can already see Lucas is cheating back towards this A bomb site. So they need to find some way. If you're not going to be able to punish the opper here, you need to at least be able to push him back.
I don't know if they can really make this one happen. I'm kind of wondering how Hiko and Mixwell are going to get past this. They've got to know that people can be doing this. They've got to keep it in mind. They have utilities to play it out, but it's still pretty tough.
I think that they're going to wait for 2 teammates to come through underpass to join up. There's the flashbang to force him back. And you can already see Lucas on his horse to get back towards that B bomb site just in case.
Yeah, he can always hold it passive if he wants to play the cross. Doesn't have to fully commit. See how he reads it out, see if he has a feeling for this one. And it looks like they are gearing up towards that B hit again. Wonder if we're going to see the smokes at the very front of the site, how they go about it, see what they have in the kind of, I guess, bag of tricks that Optic are bringing to this. They have limited amounts now.
Yeah, there's only 1 Molotov as well, and that's on Mixwell. Doesn't look like he's lining up to throw it anywhere, but that's one of those pieces of utility that can force players out of their position on this B side. He's actually going to get dropped the bomb. This looks like it's going to be a little bit of a fake, perhaps. Naf applying a little bit of pressure. There's the wall of smokes. They pulled a 3rd player over. There's only 2 players at A, and there's a kill. That's huge. I don't think that's going to pull anyone else from Immortals over. FNX and Bolts with 2 kills. There it is. Hiko's the last one left at this A bomb site for Optic. 8 seconds. He's got to do it all on his own, and he can't. That's the round 1.
That's such a disaster. What a well-made plan that just doesn't work out. They just don't hit the shots. FNX is making it worse now just by going aggressive, denying even more from the T side, and that was the plan. It was a nice one. It did kind of work there. They pulled the player over, but they just didn't land the shots, didn't have enough time to do anything else with it, and there you have it, 7-3 being the scoreline. Immortals truly stabilizing in this game now after, seeing their money in complete shambles. They're back in business.
Yeah, and you saw a little bit of indecision, which is curious coming out of that pause. First the late buy, but second, Mixwell and Banana, then rotating back towards mid, coming back to Banana to throw his smoke, or not sure exactly what his role to play. That was a fake that Optic actually ran against North in Vegas, and it worked out, but I mean, it wasn't pretty. It was something where Hiko had to bail him out of a really awkward position with low time again. This time he can't do it, and there's another pick from Henny. He's a menace right now with this AWP towards the B bomb site.
They're struggling to get any control, even on gun rounds, let alone rounds like this. You got Naf still alive. he was fine in the last round, so he's got the armor, the AK, the rest down to pistols here. So again, looking towards that CT Arch presence, perfectly fine, and Naf actually provides a big amount of value, and now Tarek's going to find 1-2, and they've isolated Bolts. This is big. Of course this is a round, again, that they win. This game is ridiculous sometimes, but Henny and Lucas playing retake, this is going to be tough. They're already in really nice set pre-positions.
Yeah, I mean, they have a smoke, so, I mean, if they want to actually commit to this retake, they can smoke off pit and at least try that, but I think if they don't get a kill pretty early on in this bomb timer here, I think they're just going to give it up.
Rush is in my favorite spot as well. Like, I go on about this bike in pit all the time. You can kind of like crouch up and down. No, because like, if he, like, he's crouching right now, right? If you peek up, you get the perfect headshot towards Diggity, right? And then you can crouch back down, and only orbs can really do damage through it. So it's a really nice setup. And I actually love that spot so much. It's good seeing him play it. But Henny now is going to be walking into the blender as well. Not much of a chance on the retake there, but Optic stringing together rounds that just don't seem like they should be able to.
Well, especially on a round like that, you have one rifle and you have some Tech 9s and pistols, but they get all the kills they need. Very aggressive. Tarek does a great job in Halls. I mean, that one kill in Halls that he gets is nice, but what it is, he finds the timing in that smoke. When that smoke is laid down, he just walks through it, and he's fortunate no one's obviously looking on the other side. That's essentially one free kill he gets to really weaken that defense as Rush is wrapping around. So that's big. Henny, this is the thing. He's changing his positioning with that AWP. Doesn't find the kill, but probably surprising Optic a little bit that it's not towards B and actually goes for the repeak, and Rush just demolishes him.
Yeah, that's an execution and a half. How does now Optic take this one forward? They've been struggling on actually committing to the sites. They've been close rounds, they've got openers before, but they haven't been able to convert them through to getting the bomb down, securing the site, winning the round. It's always felt really, really close. There's still Lucas and Steel over by B. You've got Bolts and FNX just kind of doubling up on Arch, so they're just going to sit there, maybe put one in Cubby, one in Arch, play it off each other. But it does mean that you forego having anyone towards apps. They can play out towards A if they want to, but Optic, it's down to them now. Yeah,
this is cool though, because Immortals with a man down is playing a retake on this A bomb site. They have Bolts and FNX playing on the wrap side. That's to stop any pressure coming up mid, obviously, but it's a little bit closer for rotations over towards to B if the bomb site is hit. Now, if you're Optic and you hear that op go out in mid, you don't want to smoke off the bomb site. You want to smoke off CT spawn this time when you hit it, because you don't want that op to have a clear line of sight. As we have hammers going on in the background.
Of course we do.
That's just some people in construction.
But the thing is, no one's actually coming through towards B. And to be fair, I'm pretty sure Bolts and FNX, I'm pretty sure you can still hear people running from that spot over by Banana. I'm almost certain you can hear that distance, so they're going to have to move now. Bolts is on the way, but the hit is coming in. Optic delayed it 20 seconds. If there's any issues here, any problems, this will be a huge problem. Lucas, though, can't do enough. He goes down, so does Steel. And now the bomb site is Optic's. Bomb is down, and the retake is very unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, Bolt's going for a prayer here. They're going to have to save these guns, and you'd like to see him do it now because Tarek's already on the hunt. He's already sprinting up mid with his knife out. He's actually going to go right up mid. If he's going to clear out FNX's position, he's got to be very careful. And if FNX isn't peeking this, the timing. Tarek's going to get around that. So Bolt's is, if he comes out of library, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So this is where they're trying to save, and Tarek's the only one on the hunt. This would be great if he could find...
Surely you won't get FNX. FNX is holding this angle.
I doubt he clears this, though. That's one thing. Yeah, he is not looking that direction at all, so easy kill for FNX. They're going to be able to salvage the AWP, the M4, the armor, and the kit. So 7-5, Optic making a run now into this match.
See, this is the thing. It's so hard to define where this map currently sits on the TCT side, who's played it a lot, who hasn't played it a lot. This could be a great performance for Optic how you balance it out. This could be good for Immortals. It's very, very tough to see who's really comfortable where. But for now, all you can tell is that, okay, well, finally Optic have got around on the board where they've been really working now. They start to grind down Immortals again. And the hammering, of course, this is really... All right, let's see if Henny can make a difference. FNX as well, another big impact player. Henny has been very dominant down Banana, so again, this guy could be someone to watch.
Yep, he is, and once again, they have him as the... I mean, you imagine, actually, Lucas now with the CZ, he might not actually rotate off of this B bomb site. I think he's just going to stick around because you have to imagine there's not a whole lot of help he can provide towards that A site with just the CZ. So he's here for the backup in the counter flashes if Henny is pressured.
The one thing I would say as well, I like this approach from just...
Ooh.
Is that mixed well?
That is clever. The shot through the wall and then the nade afterwards as well to follow up. So
really nice.
That nade lands perfectly. That's a kill. But either way, good damage done to Henny. He's forced back.
But I like the way he was not actually playing the corner either by the previous card, because you know that Mollies can get up there, nades can get up there, and you know that Optic finally has good utility. Something we haven't seen them do much is like the double nade, molly up, flash the corner, kind of clear out close. But again, it's hard to read into it. We get X-ray, we get to see everything, how they're playing it. But right now, Optic are running out of time and options. They do need to start making that hit. They can fall back onto that library hit they have. And I think this might be, I want to see if there's a smoke going out towards library. It is. So you got the CT arch, you got the library smoke, and the hit towards CT arch comes in. Sadly for Steel, he's about to be under severe pressure. He's trying to back away, find a safer angle. You got Bolts and FNX waiting to support you as well.
Yeah, but they've slowed this down, and there is a player in pit to help out when that actually occurs. This is going to be tough for Optic. FNX is getting in position to help out. Here they are. There goes Steel in the sight, but between the smoke, it clears. Hiko finds him, and there's the A defense down. Lucas is here already, but we mentioned he's got the CZ. There's not a lot you can do, and that is a suffocating hit from Optic. Wrapping around very quickly, only Bolts finding any success.
Yeah, we've seen that, I think, like 2, maybe 3 times from Optic now. I think this game, I'm almost sure it's about 2. They played that off so well both times. Really well defined. They can pull it off late in the game as well. Could have gone worse if they went near Henny. You saw that maybe he got a little low as well with that shot between Mixwell and the nade to follow, but does manage to stay alive, and he will keep this up. I don't think anyone's that close by. Maybe Naf can get there if he really wants to run for it, but at this point, I think Henny's pretty safe. They are trying to get towards B, but so far, he might be able to get away with this one and not be too fussed by it. Are you going to really rush? Really? Is he got a molly for this?
Oh, that'd be sick. Missed shot. Oh, no, it's not. They're going to go for second order. They're still going to try and hunt him down, though. Mixwell going to turn the corner. Henny couldn't hear it coming. Perhaps the Molotov
covered the sound of it, possibly. Yeah. Still pretty cool, not gonna lie. That was, I was really hoping that was gonna be a molly to that corner, but they do get the gun away, and that's actually pretty important. The rest of Immortals are on like max 3.3k, so they don't have a great deal of money, and NAF having a big bit of impact on that side itself. So, yeah.
This is cool as well from Optic Gaming. They call another pause. This is a tactical again, so they've used 2 tactical pauses, but this time it comes when they're on a streak of 3 rounds in a row to get to 7-6, and this is just saying like let's make sure we have a game plan for these last 2 rounds.
Yep.
Let's make sure we go into that second half with an 8-7 lead. They would love to have that. Should mention as well, this is not a bad T side for someone like Naf, who is a new in-game leader. And you can see Peacemaker, has had a lot of success as a coach, and he's one of probably the top, coaches in terms of his reputation. But he's having a lot of conversation with Naf right now. Those two going back and forth about what exactly the game plan is going to be.
Yeah, and it's a map that needs it as well. It's an incredibly tactical map on occasion. You're just dying to cause rotations everywhere, hit those perfect executes, find those flaws, have that good approach, close out those last couple of rounds of this half and go into the second half with that brilliant start behind you and the right mentality. Let's get back underway because we are into this one. CT side, we said it before, the money is dire. Bad times for those boys. And, well, we're going to see if they stack out somewhere, and it is. They're going to go for the B stack. Perfectly fine. Why not put a gamble somewhere, try and make something happen?
Passive from Optic to start things out. 4-man stack for Immortals at this B bomb site. Lucas, Bolts, Henny, and FNX are there, and it's only Steel at the A bomb site. Not being aggressive, peering into halls, so no presence in mid. That's not a bad call from the Immortals side because, we've seen, Optic has usually chosen either take over halls or take over banana early on in rounds, so letting him have mid. No information coming quite yet. If they go to this B bomb site, this stack could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, we'll see if this one actually works out for them. I'm hoping they don't do it in a kind of shoddy way. I want to see that really robust hit coming through because Henny could be played into this one. We'll see because they're about to cross right about now just below you. 2 players, but he's let you just walk in. He takes his time on the hit. He gets one, but he can't follow up on the second. That's sadly just not enough. It was close. Look at the HP, sure, but just a little bit out of reach, and there it is. Shut down in the end. Optic tie things back up at a nice 7-7 so far. That is really good for them. Going into the final round of the half, brilliant money on everyone. Get whatever they fancy. Immortals, have to be a little bit careful on the investments. Might be skimping out on some kits here and there. I don't think they have a single kit as well.
No, they don't.
Kind of tricky. You got to be careful on those quick rotates as well, or the long ones. We've seen them sometimes playing down towards pit all the way over when they've been possibly dealing with that B hit coming through, but we'll see. It could change in a blink of an eye. We know that Henny has been dangerous. He needs to get a bit of that presence again.
He's going right back to it. He's going to take this fight. Mixwell's already here, though, and he wins the battle. Mixwell beat him by a good, second and a half before he even takes that peak. So, while he's usually given them advantages in this half, this time it's a disadvantage. Spraying through the smoke. Naf almost able to find that, but in return, FNX brings him down to 22.
But I like this. They've got the boost on Diggity as well, and the player down below. So you've got a really tough crossfire to break through if they actually go for a hit towards A. But again, you're putting a lot of eggs in the A basket. You're just hoping that they aren't going to go towards B, that Lucas can keep enough presence.
Yeah, you're putting a lot of faith in Lucas to be able to hold this off. I mean, he's got one flashbang to do it with as well. And this is a long time in the round. This is over a minute that he's been there alone, essentially since the beginning of the round when Henning got picked off. But he's got no smokes, no Molotov to slow things down. He can just hope of one god-tier flashbang.
This could be fun. They're going to go for that hit again, but they're going to do the library smokes and CT arch smoke. So this... Oh no, are they selling us a kit? But they're selling us fake. This is so nice as well. They've basically done the same smokes or similar smokes, and now they're going to just let them think this is what's happening. Naf's still there, doing a little bit of work, making some noise, but the bomb is off to B. 40 seconds, Lucas. Let's see what you're made of.
This is going to be awkward. He's got to time this. You can see he already wants to play retake. His goal in this position is to get one kill and fall away. He might get it. He goes the only one in the site. There's a little bit of a mistake. The bomb is dropped, and now Lucas plays this perfectly. He's just waiting. Naf watching the flank with an AWP in the...
He's not watching.
Oh, he's not. He's not even looking that way, but he misses the kill. He does find the timing, and now there's nothing really that Optic can do here. Some trades come out, but it's a brilliant round from Immortals.
The fake, the plan, everything was there, but the retake was spot on from Immortals. 3 players just blistering up Banana, catching him out, and they just about survived the first half with the advantage. But this game has been going back and forth, and it looks like Optic have been doing their homework on that T side. Now, the question is, what do Immortals have to bring? What can we see them bring on their T side? Do they have some creative plans? Do we see some firepower coming through? Well, what can I tell you now is we're going to find out after a very short break. So guys, do stay tuned. This will be kicking off right after this. Optic Gaming at the end of that half had some real murderous intent. Just let that final round slip between their fingers, and Immortals brought back the advantage. They sit at 8-7 so far, but it's their turn on the T side. Let's see what they have to bring to this game.
7 hard-fought rounds for Optic, and I mean, it comes losing the pistol as well. So, I mean, nicely done to get 7 rounds after losing a pistol. Naf, he's going to be aggressive, peeking in towards all mid. He can't stick around here. They're already pushing up in halls. If he stays around too long, he's going to get boxed in, and yeah, he just falls away. So trying to get a little bit of info. I don't think he sees much. I think all he's able to call out is really there's one player far back. I don't think he spotted any of the other 2 crossing. I think he got there a little bit late. Yep. So not really a whole lot of intel for Optic from that peak.
And so far, looking at what Immortals have gained, decent ground so far. They've got some nice positions here. Still someone with the smoke and the flash. Not sure how he wants to play that out of apps. You obviously can use the new side there. You can bounce off the chimney, burst out towards maybe pit, but I'm kind of curious why he's this close up. What's his plan here? What's he gonna do? I'm kind of wondering what he's gonna set up here. You got Mixwell and Rush just on the other side. He's gonna back away a little bit, living life on the edge there, just a touch. Kind of dangerous as the utility man out of
I was gonna say.
not the guy you want to lose, basically. Everyone else, I guess, is slightly more expendable.
Cool from Rush, though, as well. I mean, you know, a waterfall out hauls from the T side on Pistron can be hard to stop. That's why he's got the 5-7. Tarek might just walk into a beehive here. He gets the first kill, falls back, but he can't make it. Hiko is boosted up with the USP, and this is going to be difficult of his own. FNX, there's no smoke there, and yeah, there's not much Hiko can do. Thankfully, somehow he gets out very much alive.
Yeah.
And Immortals makes that hit before the smoke is even used for the cross, so curious.
Yeah, now Lucas and FNX are focusing towards Ruins, the retake through there. Hiko's just been holding this one down, so that he roughly knows these guys are still locked into the site. But there's still Steel, there's still Bolts, and Naf finding FNX is big, and now the brute force starts to begin. But Lucas holding the corner, gets one, gets the second, the third is just too far away from reach. And now it's Rush against Bolts. And well, Rush is a nice little bit of a gun with him, but he has no armor and a limited amount of time. He's being toyed with. Bolts knows it as well. Plays to the time, swings out though in the fight, and Bolts just gets it locked down. Immortals, it was risky, it was close, but they get it on the board.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very crazy pistol on Steel, risking a lot with that utility and hulls. And also, I mean, Hiko, I think Hiko's the one who probably was at a disadvantage because there was no smoke crossing. Him boosted up. He's hoping that smoke is going to be a little bit of cover, a little bit to hide his position. So I'm surprised he even got away. But either way, they almost make that retake work. Great job by Lucas to get those 2 kills of Optic pushing through construction. And Immortals now has both pistol rounds.
Yeah, trying to do the nuke nades down mid, it's not a bad plan. You just run the risk if you don't have a good spawn of doing it to get your head taken off, which they feel the pressure of. And here's the reply. This is what I wanted to see a little bit more, if I'm honest, from Optic on the T side, was the earlier utility towards trying to get banana control, nading up towards it. You can get there pretty quick now on the T side as well. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can't obviously get the full angle because that wall's there, but still, they are being able to push the players back. FNX took some damage, sure, but they're still fine. He can just kind of back away. You can do that faster rotate now as well through the underpass area that you can now half run through, half crouch through.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a nice match of rotate though from Optic. If they actually go for the hit towards B, Optic aren't in a bad spot.
Bolts, that's going to be an easy kill. Makes very little damage, and Naf is now the only one left. And Bolts is solo here, so Rush is all alone at the A site. He's got UMP and armor, but they're wrapping now. So with that kind of advantage, it's been spotted out, but Rush has to get out of the bomb site.
And FNX was watching that smoke around the corner just in case, but Rush was just a little bit too late. So bombs all the way towards A, and Rush is still alive. The HP's dwindling as well for Immortals, but this is going to take a bit of a superhero performance from Rush. Any tag's a bit of a hindrance, and Bolts is watching the cross back, and oh my word, Rush, okay. What can you do now? It's redonkulous.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous will do though, Lauren. Don't need to go any
Let's not
further.
go too far.
No, it is just stupid though. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm the scumbag that played Call of Duty, and I still think that gun's stupid. So let's be. Hey, I can say it. All right. All right. Let's be nice. But no, the problem is that gun is just getting to the point of you're just left wondering why it's still like this. But no matter what happens, no matter how the round goes, it does again go on the board for Immortals. And Optic are just kind of sitting through this. They haven't had the best time with pistols so far.
No.
It's kind of been a bit rough for them. The follow-up rounds haven't been much better either. So hopefully for them they can stabilize in the gun rounds, but it's always tough then.
The nice thing is that, you know, Mixwell wisely, I think he invested in that round. He didn't, I mean, I think he was saving about 1,500, but he's only at 34 now, so I'm a little bit curious. Oh, no, that's because Rush got all the bonus money. So yeah, Mixwell's going to be able to have an AWP in the next round with some decent things behind it. So wondering why Rush is he going for it again? No, he saved it. I've lost my mind.
Are you okay?
Yeah. You got me thinking about Call of Duty, and then I got all messed up.
Yeah, it does hurt your brain a little bit if you think about it too much. It starts just, IQ points just drop real quick. It's rapid.
Didn't have a lot to give up to begin with.
No, absolutely not. We've got a stack though. 3 players over towards B. Boost comes in for Rush, but for Immortals, they shouldn't be running into too many issues. Let's put it that way. Rush is the only real threat on the board. You've got Naf with a P250, but nothing else to really play on this point. And you can see Immortals with a nice approach, taking their time, always kind of buddied up at this point. FNX and Steel just watching the mid. Take a little bit of damage then, but I heard a dink and I see nothing.
I did too. I see 96 damage or health on Steel, so 4 damage dealt with that dink.
Nice. That feels good. But what doesn't feel good is Tarek's head now rolling. Slowly working in towards B is what we're seeing. Hiko's still playing at the back of Nubox. I don't think I can call it Nubox anymore, but I'm going to stick by it. And Rush playing on the edge. And actually the smoke going up will help him in some way. You're going to check it eventually. There it is. The pre-fire comes in. Bolts takes the gamble. You're going to have to put your back towards Nubox, but Hiko's still alive somehow, and he's doing a little bit of work there towards Steel, but the overrun's going to come in. They have armor, they have weaponry, they have absolutely everything on Immortals that they need. So by this point, the threat's done, and so will Mixwell be in just a moment.
There's a dink.
There's the dink.
There it is.
Finally.
All right, 11-7. Optic now. They got to get started quick in these gun rounds. They've lost both pistols in this matchup. They need to get this one kicked off very, very quickly. Mixwell's going to have that AWP. M4s for everyone else. And I mean, you can see Rush got a full buy based off of how much damage he did with the UMP in that second round. So, how is Immortals going to take this T side? Mixwell with the AWP is going to be over towards Diggity. I believe we're calling it.
Yep, it's a thing now.
It's a thing.
Just for Chad and Australians as well. We're nice people.
This is going to be perfect for Mixwell.
Yeah,
there
nice.
it is. Just walks into his crosshair.
The only threat that would ever come from that position is if a player can play out of Boiler and he can back away in time for this. Rush can just play off the angle. You can still see the right side, but somehow FNX gets the shot off. How did Rush not get that? But nice timing on the flash there between the two. Smoke goes in towards the Archer. Now he can keep playing off this. But that UMP, what is this gun?
Rush is going to be so tilted after that one. All that damage, and he can just hold the trigger down with that UMP as he falls away. There's just the one headshot. That's why you buy armor as CT, but obviously in this round, might not have been able to afford it. So, 3-on-4 situation. Mixwell with 2 kills with that AWP. It's already wreaking havoc. Tarek's playing really far back off this B bomb site. And he's got 1 flashbang, so I mean, if he gets smoked off, he's essentially going to throw a flash for Hiko.
Well, there's no smokes. So I guess that's one benefit that he doesn't quite know about. This is a nice little angle you can play through. You can sit pretty deep in towards it. It's kind of nice.
Using that flash now. It's actually a pretty decent flash. It's going to help him get into position. He's going to wrap around. It's got to be quick, though, because there's no indication this is coming. Immortal's just kind of walking in. Hiko's not going to know that one player got there. Tarek has got to play contact, but Hiko, that Molotov is going to force him out. Oh, nicely done with the smoke. When does he swing, though? It's got to be on Tarek's contact because they're not paying attention to him. There's a trade. Lucas and Henny, they get into the site. Hiko, now he's pouncing. Actually, that's a tricky move, but Lucas wins anyways.
It's a 2v2 now. Bomb can be kind of tough to plant it purely safely. You have to take a gamble somewhere. He chooses Ruins. He's just going to make his mind go, all right, that's the best I've got. Now, FNX, unable to hold the cross yet. He's still keeping an eye towards, the banana push.
Are they saving?
Yeah, on a 2v2.
Why is this happening? All right, so Optic playing extremely... Do they think it's A?
No, sure. Oh my god, they do.
Well, now you have to save.
What?
Oh, what a blunder.
What? Do they not know how far you can and can't hear the bomb, or...?
I guess, I'm not sure, but there was no reason for them to save that early, so they obviously thought it was A. Yeah, you could see, and Mixwell just not even moving anymore, yeah.
What? Oh my god.
I don't know who made that call, but that's unfortunate. Optic, they just give one up.
Oh, there was a retake to be played, and if you're Immortal, you're going, right, I don't know how that happened.
Didn't Lucas have the bomb?
Yeah, Hiko died to the guy with the bomb.
Yeah, there was no way they could have even made it back to the A bomb site. Oh, this is that kill on a Rush.
Oh, lovely. It was through smoke as well. That's really nice.
Make it on Reddit. Let's go.
Oh, that's just so satisfying to see raw skill in, in such a beautiful moment. But Mixwell's got a spawn now. He might have a point to prove, but no, he's going to take his time. He can flash himself over in if he wants to. The one thing I've been enjoying recently is the CT-sided aggression we're seeing out from certain teams, but not right now from Optic. They're kind of being held back at the moment. They haven't had that many buys to really do it with. Quick smoke towards CT. Don't need to necessarily play it off with it, but they've forced Optic back now.
Nice nade. Good damage onto FNX. This time, though, they're not benefited. No one's going to be walking into Mixwell's crosshair. This is, Mortals only have 1 player over towards A. That's Lucas. He's pushed up right outside the T entrance to Halls, and that's it. And it seems like this would be eventually a B hit for Immortals, where Lucas is just watching for some kind of a push on this side of the map, and then eventually maybe lurks, maybe meets up with them eventually, but at the moment, they have no map control towards A whatsoever.
Yeah, FNX is working through T-Apps now as well. He's going to maybe get in towards that, see if he can find anything. Maybe just take up the position of what Lucas was doing, just purely off the basis of HP. He can just kind of watch the back here really comfortably. You get a nice spot towards the balcony ledge, and you get to watch the push down from mid. Lucas gets the bomb, so he's going to bring that one up towards B, I can imagine, but this is well read so far by Optic. You've got Mixwell here, Hiko, and Tarek, and Mixwell has kicked off with a bang. Steel goes down, and Henny is looking for a reply. No response seen just yet, though. Tarek waiting at the back of New Coils if he just sits safely behind the coffins, but they're not going to commit. They're going to go back round towards A, and this is just be confusing as all hell for Optic. Naf is on the angle, though. He can see this one out if they actually go CT Arch.
Oh, I think did he spot that? Oh,
Flash over.
Yeah. So there's the pop flash. It's going to bounce. He's not blind. He loses that fight. Rush is in the site. There's Mixwell for the trade. Still in library. Rush has got to choose where he pays attention to. This is so difficult. There he goes. 1 kill for him. And Hattie, he can't find it either. He's got to come close up with the op, and Rush is going to be the hero this round. Mixwell also with 3 important kills. That's huge with the op.
Yeah, and it looked like Naf was looking for the flash he used to be able to do off the
I know, yeah, it seemed like he's
piece of the wood that came through.
Don't worry, guys. I got this pop.
Just underhanded, like, that'll do, donkey.
It didn't do.
It did not do at all. And the other issue being